So, why modern men are struggling? Boom. Got it. Let's go. New request. Okay. We'll see what this tastes like. Oh, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. Welcome back, Dorito. How you feeling, bro? Welcome back, my guy. The polygamous bandit. Oh my god. Ain't nobody got time for that. Oh, that's what I could do. I forgot I had these. Yes. Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, let's be back in a minute. We are going to discuss kind of like a part two from the other day when I was talking about monogamy is a little too expensive. We're going to talk about a little bit more about that financial failure of the family. How am I feeling? I'm actually kind of fine. Like Bree was talking about me dissociating, like me dissociating. So I actually feel kind of fine, even though I'm spiraling. I actually feel kind of good. We talking about a little bit of money and family, how it's kind of they're not mixing anymore. Economics are kind of making family untenable. So globally, a lot of Western societies are just they're noping out. So that's kind of what we're gonna talk about when Yella get back. Got a couple of videos we kind of gonna piece down, kind of react to how we do. Yeah, you back? Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Welcome back. Welcome back. Good to have you back. Yeah, so we got two videos. One is a news report. Actually, they're both news reports. One is like a local news from out of KTLA. I'm assuming that's in Los Angeles. Or maybe that's Tulsa. TLA? That might be Tulsa. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about that when y'all get back. Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit of how money and y'all's back. Hey, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I know everybody may not make it back, may not be interested in this topic, but instead of trying to do it tomorrow when y'all get off work, he said he here. So we're gonna get this in. I know Bree said she had a day off tomorrow, so I was trying to get two for one. Two birds, one stone. But Bree is busy, so me and y'all are gonna get this in. So this is talking about why modern men are struggling in the marriage marketplace. So we're going to react to some of the things that happened in this news clip. It's about a 5.5 minute clip, and then there's another one behind it that we're going to react to as well. So I say 2 5 minute clips. That'll probably take us about 2 hours to go through. So you know how we are. We're very pausey. We're very pausey. So he should be back within the next 5 minutes. I am going to wait for him to start the video. But what do you all think? I had that conversation. I was debating with him. I said monogamy is too expensive. Like what people are asking for to have a monogamous relationship is not worth it for a lot of their counterparts. So a lot of what men are asking for and women are like, no, I'd rather die alone. And a lot of the things that women are asking for, men, those are like, nah, you might want to buy a dog. So I think a lot of the things that people are asking for, a lot of their counterparts is just like, nah, that's just too much for me. I'm out. So that's my premise. This is kind of like a follow up with that. This is kind of like more information like why some of the people are struggling to find those monogamous relationships, why people are struggling to find marriages, and it's like the things people are asking for, it's a bit much. But it's also because of the economics of our countries, like some of the countries we live in, the economic models are such that a lot of men just don't have the capacity to provide the way some people want them to. Shoot, I was listening to something earlier today. I should go look for it. This woman was a daggone scientist. Like she was a scientist, but she was talking about her husband's work ethic. Talking about, well, even though I'm a big, powerful, smart scientist, blah, 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 I still want a husband that provides for me. I was like, my God, what is the point of becoming a provider type? What is the point of getting a big, lucrative career where you make lots of money if you're not going to provide? I would love women to be able to tell me that. What's the point of having all the accolades and the success and the job if you're not willing to take care of the family financially? That's kind of weird for me. But that I know that's a big societal thing. I get it. It's a sweeping thing where you're taught one thing and then you're sent on this mission as well. I get it. But oof, I do not understand. I'm gonna go and make $300,000 a year, but I don't want to provide for the family. I still want a guy to come in and provide for the family. Like what? That always sends me. Polygamy could be expensive as well, but it also could be cheaper because you have more people. If you have everybody housed together, could be more adults sharing the bill. So I mean, oh, if there's one provider, oh my God, yeah. If there's only one provider, it's tough. It's tough. I'm more of an egalitarian person. However, I think a lot of people are going in that direction, like living with others because things are tight. Yeah, finances drive a lot of our decision making. Money drives a lot of our decision making, even if we're not aware of it. Who we date, how we date, if we have kids, how many kids we have, what we eat, how often we eat. We don't think about it a lot of times, but money is a big factor in almost all of these decisions. So what we drive, where we go, can we go there? Can we afford it right now? What entertainment you partake in? Like how many hobbies do you just not do because you just don't have the finances for it? You would otherwise. You would love to insert X, but don't have the money for it. How many hobbies did you never get exposed to simply because your family didn't have the money for it coming up? Like I know I've never played golf. Never been on a golf course. Never. Never. So yeah. So now we got to stall for time. Been about 7 minutes. We still waiting on yellow. So this is what I'm gonna do because I get bored. This is where I would be trolling. My dad used to have a YouTube channel, and he always talks about how if he always talks about how conditions will bring people together. That's conditions can definitely bring people together or tear them apart. Like that's it's the nature of conditions. It's the nature of conditions. I would say the conditions for us in the United States, especially Black Americans, our conditions are bringing us further apart. There's no reason. There's no incentive to be. There's no reason to have a family other than you want one, and one is fleeting. So as soon as you got it and you no longer want it, then what? People leave it. People abandon it emotionally, actually physically depart. So it's tough. It's tough. Yeah. So well, I don't like waiting so much. I'm going to bring in a video. We'll restart it when Yellow come in. I don't know when he's coming back. It is tough. It's crazy. So we'll restart it when he get back. So you might hear some of this stuff twice, but we're gonna play this through.
About 1 in 3 American adults are.
Oh, it's freezing up on me. No, don't seize up on me now.
About 1 in 3 American adults are single. They say they're single, though women outnumber men. Apparently, one expert right here says that men are actually out of their depth in the dating pool.
Wow. Okay. So Dr. Wendy Walsh said,
out of our depth as a dude, I can look at past experiences and now attribute the leading contributor to my desire to stay single is financial. Yeah, it's tough. Like I would have dated more if I had more money. When I was out dating, I would have dated more if I had more money, honestly. But I wasn't dating to pair. I was dating to date. I was dating to have fun. I just wanted to be out, be somewhere, do something. So that's definitely yeah. They said it. We're out of our depth. One in three, 1 in 3 people are single. 1 in 3 people are singles. That's a third of the country. That's quite a bit of people. But men are out of our depth. Let's go. What are you doing, buddy? Shout out to Greg, man. Greg with the Cash App. There he is. Good morning. Okay, see, you just now waking up? I know you probably work different hours, man. Shout out to Greg for the cash app, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. He came in with dropping something in the collection plate. I need that clip again. See, the problem with EV Mux is getting to all the clips and stuff is a lot more complex. I miss StreamYard. Ugh.
Says that men are actually out of their depth in the dating pool.
Wow. Okay. So Dr. Wendy Walsh says modern men are struggling to find a mate, and it is taking a toll on society at large. So thank you so much for joining us to explain.
Happy
Good
to be
morning,
here.
Dr.
Hi.
Walsh. So let's start with what you said. Modern men are struggling to, quote, compete in the marriage marketplace. What does that mean exactly, and why do you think it's happening?
So before she goes into our explanation, what do you guys think? Are modern men struggling to compete in the marriage marketplace? Do you guys think men? Let me ask you this question, a better question for me. Do you think men actually want to get married, not be partnered? Do you think men desire marriage at all? Do you think that's a thing that us men want? Uh-oh. Greg got no video. His internet is interneting. It's the best kind of internet. It's when it's internet. I feel it's not fair. Because if someone may want to date, but fear they can financially support them, modern men should become like them who aren't struggling then. If that's their aim. I mean, if everybody's the same, but everybody can't be successful. That's just not the way capitalism works. No. I feel they do want to get married, but are afraid. You think men want to get married, but they're afraid? What do you think they're afraid of? And this is just a question. This is not like conflict. Like, what do you think men are afraid of? To learn for learn. Greg said, learn to trade. Greg, the cash app said, learn to trade. I mean that. I mean that would help. You learn to trade. That would help in more than one way. That would help in more than one way. That's funny. If it's not, then they're struggling. Okay. I don't think it's a struggle to keep up or engage. I think it's how one sided the ending usually is. That is the term. Okay. The residual financial backlash is so high for men. Okay. And financial responsibility. It is tough. It is tough. I keep hearing the rhetoric. It's a lot. It's a lot to consider. If I were looking to pair off, I would be nervous. Like let's say I had a nice, decent income or something and was ready to build a family, I'd be so nervous these days. I'd be so nervous. Just because of the thought processes people carry. I'd be nervous. Even as if I were a woman trying to get with a dude, I would still be nervous. Even if the financial benefit is sort of like the attitudes towards the different genders that each other have, I'd be so nervous. Okay. Sometimes it can appear as if they're struggling to those who assume there goes marriage. Now that's true. That's true. It's a lot to take care of a family. It is. It's a lot of labor, and I don't think people really have a good grasp on what the labor looks like. I believe in prenups. I do too. I don't have a problem with prenups. What gets me is the people that believe in paperwork for marriage, but they don't believe in paperwork for prenups. Like, what do you mean? You believe in one contract, but not another one? You don't. What do you mean? You don't trust me? No, you didn't trust me to be committed to you without putting it on a certificate and taking it to the state. Why don't you trust me? Like you didn't trust me then. Why would I trust you here? So it's something interesting.
So it's important to know that this is the research of Joseph Henrich at Harvard University. And basically, as an
Appeal to authority. Joseph Henrich at Harvard University. So now we have a name and it's a study. So it's got to be great. It's got to be accurate. So it's just a fear to a degree that men have. I know there are some who don't want to, but there are others who really want to get married. I'm going to push on this real quick. Now, when I say get married, like their desire is to get the legal framework of marriage. Like that's what their aim is. is to get the legal framework of marriage? Or do you think they want long-term meaningful connection with a woman? I don't consider having long-term meaningful connection with a woman committed. I don't consider that marriage. So when I'm saying marriage, I mean specifically the institution of having your state recognized relationships. What up, Bree? I believe in NDAs as well, as you should. As you should. How many have you signed, Quantum? Can you tell me how many you signed? Hello. 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 I don't even know how to pronounce that. I'm not going to try it. People need to reevaluate how they look at relationships. Oh, that? No. Yeah. Yeah.
It's important to know that this is the research of Joseph Henrich at Harvard University. And basically, as an evolutionary biologist, he's seeing that what we're seeing is an oversupply of successful women. More women are getting college educated and making more money. I teach on a college campus. We see the feminization of college campuses. The problem is women don't like to date down. So as a result, they're all chasing this small group of alphas and leaving the rest of the good guys out.
Hey, are they a good guy if they're not alpha? Are they a good guy? I did mean marriage, but that's marriage. When I said marriage, but that's marriage. A marriage is the paperwork part. That's the marriage. That's the marriage. Now the relationship. I know the news saying alpha. I know. If I were a boy, I'd be so tripped out about marriage too. The modern society's been infected. Like resident, yeah, it's crazy. But see, that's what I have a hard time. I think men and women, when we say marriage, we mean different things. I think a lot of times when people say marriage, women automatically assume the relationship, and men assume the paperwork. She said alpha, disregard opinion. Dating down, yeah. I've never signed one. I make them do the signing, yeah. Now, common law marriage. That's the one I can respect that one. I respect common law marriage. I believe in legal protections for the family, for the wife, for the husband. I believe in legal protections across the board. So it's not that I don't believe in it. I just believe in it across the board. And some people stop short. Like some people believe in marriage, but they won't believe in a prenup. Then I have a problem with that. But if we're talking about stuff that goes through the state, but I believe in long-term committed relationships, I'm absolutely for that. Absolutely for it. Give me a second. Let's see if you get my message. Okay. So, Yella said, let's do this stream. It's been 20 minutes. He ain't back yet.
Well, maybe it's. I mean, it sounds like a good thing to me. I don't know.
Says the alpha.
I don't know.
Hold up.
The problem is women don't like to date down. So as
Okay, so we have a lot of women who are more educated. Less men are getting educated. So women are about to lap men as far as like 2 to 1 on college campuses. So there's going to be a lot more educated women, which means they're going to be more high earning women. We got Chris Classic in the building. Classic Alpha. Take It Home podcast. Meet me at the altar in your white dress. We ain't getting no richer, so we might as well do it. Hey, listen, I hear you. Common law is scary because that's the state designating your status. Because just because I live with someone doesn't mean I want to be recognized as to be in a marriage with them. I mean, then do you need to live with them if you don't want to be recognized with? Y'all be talking about alpha? Yeah, we talking about alpha. Alpha is on the table. Facts. Typical. I know.
What up?
Where I am, if you live together for 2 years, it's common law. 2 years, that's solid. See, I don't. Again, you living with somebody for 2 years, man. I know you don't want anybody to assume you want to be with them in a marriage with them, but I mean, there needs to be some kind of legal protections for people that live together long term. Canada has silly laws. There needs to be some kind of protections for the men and the women and the children, because y'all people be producing children too. So there needs to be something. We need maybe more choices. We need more parameters and definitions. Welcome back, Playboy. I'm gonna start this over for you.
Yeah, man, I had the
It's okay.
unfortunate.
We don't need to know you had the number 2. It's all good. As long as you wiped and washed your hands, we straight.
Wash my hands, probably.
This dude. All right. So this is a why modern men.
I'm about to
Oh.
go to Pluto. Ooh, I'm about to go to
What
Pluto.
you got? You got
I'm
some.
about to go to Pluto.
You got some crazy kush. You got some
I'm about to
crazy.
go to Pluto. Hold on, nigga. When I say
This dude got some wacky weed.
hold on, man. When I say I'm about to go to Pluto, man,
This dude.
I say
Go ahead and show us that.
I'm about to go to Pluto, nigga.
Wow.
Yeah, man, that's what I got. Call me Duck Dodgers, goddamn it.
This dude.
Yeah. About to go to Pluto, nigga.
Well, wipe
Wiped
and
and
wash your
washed
hands in that order.
I mean, look, let's not
Nah.
get into that. Let's not get into that.
Nah.
All right. Hopefully, my bad, y'all. I had to go see a man about a planet.
Yeah.
So,
Give me a quick second.
all right. Well, what's good, y'all? It's just me, Oos. What's the title of the video? It say, why modern men are struggling in the marriage marketplace. Okay, all right, KTLA Channel 5, go on and tell us why the men's is a struggling. Why is we struggling in the marriage marketplace? Please do tell us. Pluto and Aquarius. Hell yeah, some planet in retrograde right now. Pluto and Aquarius. We got a little asteroid that's acting like that people calling a second moon. Somebody birthday is today. It's something. Yeah, that's something. And then guess what? Tomorrow it'll be something too. So yay. Yay us. Yay Earth, right? Am I right? Look, go planet. Like I'm fucking proud of y'all. Proud of you Earthlings. I wish I could play the video.
About 1 in 3 American adults are single. They say they're single, though women outnumber men. Apparently, one expert right here says that men are actually out of their depth in the dating pool.
Wow. Okay. So Dr. Wendy Walsh says modern men are struggling to find a mate, and it is taking a toll on society at large. So thank you so much for joining us to explain.
Happy
Good
to be
morning,
here.
Dr.
Hi.
Walsh. So let's start with what you said. Modern men are struggling to, quote, compete in the marriage marketplace. What does that mean exactly, and why do you think it's happening?
So it's important to know that this is the research of Joseph Henrich at Harvard University. And basically, as an evolutionary biologist, he's seeing that what we're seeing is an oversupply of successful women. More women are getting college educated and making more money. I teach on a college campus. We see the feminization of college campuses. The problem is women don't like to date down. So as a result, they're all chasing this small group of alphas and leaving the rest of the good guys out.
Man, okay. So what you think about that, man?
I think morning news and hit an all new low.
Alphas, man. They talking about alphas. We talking about alphas.
I mean, I'm gonna wait for the equivalency, like where she's trying to make this connection. Because the title is, there's a bunch of shit up here. Why men are struggling to compete in the marriage marketplace. And then her first thing is to say that women are making more, or women are more successful now.
Yeah. Because women don't like to date down.
Because women don't like to date down. Okay.
Yeah.
Since like forever. So, okay, cool. Like, that's not, I'm waiting on the revelation. That's what I'm saying. I'm waiting on the connection and the new revelation. So, women don't like to date down. Okay.
Give me a second. I'll be right.
Women. This just in.
Well, maybe it's, I mean, it sounds like a good thing to me. I don't know.
Says the alpha.
I don't know, like, to hear that, like, there's more successful women and they hold, the standards are higher. That, to me, sounds like a good thing. But tell us about this quote you have: normalize monogamy.
So
about that.
Yeah,
this
isn't
is
it normalized already?
Well, actually, if you look at the history of the human species, we've had all kinds of mating systems. However, monogamy has been actually increasing in the last 100 years. It's been moving around Western and even Eastern cultures because it makes society safer. When there is one woman for every man, you don't get a bunch of angry men in the lower classes who become violent.
What?
Yeah, man.
What?
Yeah, you ain't know about that?
Come on, man. No, no, hold on. No,
One expert right here.
Whoa, how'd that reset? Whoa, what happened?
no, no, no.
What happened?
Hell no,
What just happened?
no, no, no,
What just happened?
no. We're gonna take them down for a second. First of all, we're gonna take them down. For me,
Let's go.
trying not to call that woman out.
Well, she's telling the truth. Every time there's a school shooter, we're like, oh, they're an incel.
Monogamy does not guarantee someone a partner.
No, it doesn't.
So to say that monogamy prevents men in the lower class from being violent, it's stupid.
Did she say monogamy prevents?
Yeah, she said normalize monogamy. Monogamy
Okay,
is
okay.
something that's
Okay.
right. She
Okay.
translated.
I know where she's going. Go ahead, my bad. I was trying to figure it out because
So it's this idea that monogamy causes dating down. Normalized monogamy causes dating down to where the guy in. I mean, look, you gonna have to show me where it's historically accurate at. Because if you just wasn't getting women, monogamy been around for a long time, and niggas also ain't been getting none for a long time. Like the unattractive man is not nothing new, y'all. Like what the fuck? This ain't like a new revelation. Like
world class.
the undesirable dude is not a new revelation. So to say that monogamy has been preventing the lower class man from being violent, no. Because you're trying to make it seem like if you're trying to seem like because that's almost to say that monogamy has given the lower class men options to higher class women. Like I don't even know what that means, bro. That feels so stupid.
Quantum, I don't even know how to read the sentence. Unattractive men are hot as fuck.
This is how you read the sentence.
I can't stand you. I can't stand you. Oh shoot.
Like I don't even understand where that's true. They still do. Like the more richer, powerful dudes still hoard women.
Yeah.
Like they still have all the women. Like the dynamic hasn't changed.
It's just masked.
It's just masked, right?
Because she said it earlier. She said all the that's like the women are competing for a smaller group of men, and the smaller group of men would be the nobles,
right? In all of the history. So like I'm gonna bring it back up, and I want you to run it back. But she tried to equate monogamy to guaranteed partner. The existence of monogamy, not a partner, not brings one a partner. That's you know what I'm saying. Not one a partner makes.
It's the theory or the idea is that it gives you better chances when one guy doesn't have like 20 to 50 to 100 wives and concubines. Then there's more women available to choose from, or the women would have, to choose from what's left. But that's not the way people. There's no way to move around people's behaviors.
Right, man.
People still want what they want.
That's what we was talking about with monogamy yesterday.
Yeah.
That's what we was just talking about monogamy. The existence of monogamy is it itself just that. It's just monogamy. Anything else you try to pour on top of that, it's just one sexual partner. Anything you try to pour on top of that, normalize monogamy, any kind of
binary,
what's the word I'm looking for? Like descriptive. What am I looking for? Adjective, adverb. I'm not looking for adjective. All right, whatever adjective you want to add on to it, it's simply you projecting your own disposition on it.
Okay.
Monogamy is simply having one sexual partner. Monogamy doesn't prevent men in lower class
Yeah.
the lower class to not be violent. What the fuck?
Yeah. Like they're
Because
not.
if that was the case, he wouldn't go home and whoop the woman's ass. Then if it was preventing him to being violent, the same woman that's giving him monogamy at home getting her ass beat. So how the
Yeah.
hell is that preventing violence?
I agree with you.
Stupid ass. Dumbass.
Hold up. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Oh shoot. I think poly was the standard, and then mono was beat into folks at some point. I could be wrong. Yeah, and I think even now, I mean, monogamy is still something that people say, but don't always practice. The poor do have a lot of kids. I can't type out enough to argue this spiral. I feel you. It's a lot. And polygamy is still a thing too. But even still, there are a lot of people who don't practice having one partner at a time. They'll still be having multiple partners at a time. All right, I'm gonna hit play and look up the etymology. I know mono is one. Gammy is what I'd have to look at.
And making more money. I teach on a college campus. We see the feminization of college campuses. The problem is women don't like to date down. So as a result, they're all chasing this small group of alphas and leaving the rest of the good guys out.
Well, maybe it sounds like a good thing to me. I don't know.
So real quick, the Greek monos is single, gamos is marriage. Okay, monogamia, the monogamy in French, monogamy, and then the IE got replaced with a Y. But I think you went down. Nobody's doing real, but beyond the Greek, that's just a quick response. I'm not doing a deep dive right here, but just a single marriage is what I got from the Greek.
I don't know.
Says the alpha.
I don't know, like to hear that like there's more successful women and they hold, the standards are higher. That to me sounds like a good thing. But tell us about this quote you have: normalize monogamy.
So
This is normalized already.
Well, actually, if you look at the history of the human species, we've had all kinds of mating systems. However, monogamy has been actually increasing in the last 100 years. It's been moving around Western and even Eastern cultures.
But it's long existed before then. And 100 years, lady, that's a pretty fucking long time.
I mean, for us,
that's a long time, lady. She talking about it's been. We also brand new as hell anyway. So how old is the United States?
About 1777, about less than 250 years, about 250.
Okay, then. So that means monogamy has existed a little under half of the time that the USA has. Normal, real, regular civilization. We ain't talking about the history of people. Because at some point, niggas was just clunking women over the head with mallets and dragging them into the damn cave. We not talking about if monogamy existed then. Niggas was sticking cactuses up their asses just to see what the new sensation was. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's start acting like we talking about the time when people was being like the people that we are now.
Oh my God! Why did you say that?
Because we always want to equate what they was doing way back then when we was striking rocks together to start fires to now. You know what I'm saying? At some point, that shit's got to cut off, and we restarted. We restarted. So if we talking about monogamy in the U.S., then yeah, it's been around for a while. 100 years out of 250 some years is a lot.
Stop it. A bunch of dudes come out saying they omegas. Stop it. Gamy means marriage. Marriage means to marry. Marry means to give offspring and wedlock. Okay. All right. Oh, don't spiral now. Come on, come on,
Come on,
play,
man. You know it's spiraling.
play,
This
sucker.
conversation from the spiral.
because it makes society safer. When there is one woman for every man, you don't get a bunch of angry men in the lower classes who become violent. In fact, when monogamy is not in fashion in a culture, you will find that crime rates go up, sexual assault goes up. You leave this group of marauding men in the lower ranks who are pretty frustrated.
Wait, so
And you said you had a problem with that. You didn't. So now you made some good points. Now you made some
Monogamy
good
don't
points.
prevent that.
Nah, nothing. I don't think anything. Nothing prevents violence.
Right.
Like nothing prevents violence except abstaining from violence. But there is a correlation. There's a correlation. See, she's speaking to a correlation. So if there are an abundance of men who do not have sexual opportunity, it skews towards them having more deviant behaviors.
I mean, I could dig that.
Hmm.
The point being made and the correlation
Hmm.
to monogamy is the problem that I'm talking about.
Ah.
She's trying to say that monogamy prevents men in the lower class who don't have sexual options from being violent.
Hmm. In theory.
In theory, but at the same
Yeah.
time, then why is domestic violence so high
Right,
in
right,
the
right.
lower
Yeah, I
class?
said that was a good point. But they're just talking about like kind of like the when they band together, where they gang up and start doing a lot of crazy stuff. We do see that, but like you said, we don't have proof of anybody ever stopping that. There's no system. There's no economic system, political system, or like sexual system that has stopped men from being violent.
None
Yeah,
whatsoever. None. And it
yeah.
won't ever happen. Guess what? Violent people, bad people, criminals, abusers, kid diddlers, for better or worse, are always going to exist. There's nothing going to stop that from happening. I'm sorry. That's just the nature of the beast. That's the nature of the planet where we live on. That's the human experience.
Mhm.
Take that up with y'all maker that y'all always talking about and praising. He made the shit like that. I'm just saying, nigga,
White guy gotta get straight. God catch the
the
strays.
manufacturer definitely had the option to not make kid diddlers. He definitely had the option to not make abusers. He definitely had the option to not make that a thing, but he made it a thing. So
God
guess
catch the
what?
strays.
Guess what? You want to talk to anybody about that, take it up with your maker. Because monogamy ain't stopped it.
Dang. Threes. Young horny men have no self control, and if women don't fuck them, they will burn the place down. It's absurd on his face. Listen.
are you saying that women keep men in line and that relationships keep men in line?
Women are totally in charge.
Oh.
100%. Everything men do is to please women.
I think this.
Right. That's why Diddy on trial now. Because women are totally in charge. That's why he had like 6 of them in a room, couldn't stand up because it was covered in baby oil. 'Cause I'm sure they're in charge. I'm sure they were in charge. Because this is only something poor men do. Rich
Oh God,
affluent men aren't violent to women.
this is funnier than I thought it would be. So now,
Ray Rice entered the chat. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
all right, listen. All right, listen.
Fuck is you talking about, bro?
She's talking about on a macro level,
Man,
women
macro
have
G's.
the choice of sexual selection right now. On a
Ooh.
micro.
They
I'm
got the
done with you.
choice. They got the options. Ooh, they can go be with any man they want.
Yeah, yeah.
That still don't make what she said right. That still don't make what she
It
said
do
right.
because she
All
said
of these
if they got
things.
their choice, a lot of things dudes do is driven by obtaining access to women. That's a lot of what men do is to access women. And it's not all men. It's not all women because some women aren't accessible. They might be lesbians. They might be asexual. So this is a blanket conversation. This is a macro conversation about general trends that are observable in stats. That's what she's talking about. That's why I let it crazy. But I hear you.
The smart thing is for me to agree, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
100% agree.
Already we trained him. In 5 seconds, we trained him.
Okay,
Sucker. That's why I told you don't trust no nigga ain't got no facial hair. Sucker ass nigga.
Man, here we go.
You got some, he ain't got none, nigga. You got some. SOME, but you got some. He ain't got none. NONE, nigga, he ain't got none. Look at him, I guess I gotta agree then.
He shaved it to please a woman.
Sucker
He shaved it to make a
ass
woman
nigga.
happy. Yo, he taking this a totally different way than I expected, but I love it.
Okay, so but this one is something that is going to be controversial with people. You have recently learned that women may have accidentally helped to create player culture with their choices. Tell us about this, because that sounds like victim blaming.
Now that was my favorite part of this whole video. That was my favorite part.
What?
That was my favorite part of this whole video.
Man, nobody make you put your legs in the air. Not that time. Go ahead. Let's run that back. She said so. Women.
She
have
said,
Mm-hmm.
"Hold up, that was my favorite part." I was like, "Wow, feminism popped up." When talking about men. When talking about men.
So now the niggas that's getting too much pussy is a problem. We went from
Yeah.
the niggas who wasn't getting enough pussy being the problem to the niggas who getting too much pussy being the problem. Okay, bitch.
All right,
Let's see
we
how this dumbass goddamn segment goes now.
In 5 seconds, we trained him.
Okay, so but this one is something that is going to be controversial with people. You have recently learned that women may have accidentally helped to create player culture with their choices. Tell us about this, because that sounds like victim blaming.
No, it's not victim blaming, but it's understanding the factors that led to where we are now. So, you know, under patriarchy, women, of course, had to either keep their bodies until marriage or rent it by the hour, if you will. Prostitution's gone way down, by the way. And so once patriarchy started to fall apart and women had their own economic freedom, they started to enjoy the pleasures of their bodies. Why not?
Yes.
But they put sex out into the culture in high supply. What this did is lower ambition in men, because they didn't have to work so hard to get the attention of a woman anymore. And as a result, women are complaining because,
either the niggas on the low end ain't getting no pussy, or these women that made it so accessible that it's easy to get.
Okay, there's two
Either
things
it's hard to get.
Listen,
Either it's hard to get or it's easy.
you got to put it together. Yellow, you got to put it together. Hold on. Women have made the puss more accessible, but they've made it more accessible to a small group of men. So yes, women are having more sex, but they're having more sex with fewer men. Like, both are true.
Fucking these ain't shit ass niggas. Like, who the fuck do you think is fucking the nigga that? It's a nigga. I'm pretty sure. I stay not too far from it. I'm pretty sure it's a nigga down the street from me with 5 baby mamas. Who you think fucking this nigga, bro? Like, what are you talking about, bro? This nigga's in the hood. Like Greg said, poor people make the most kids. Who the fuck you think fucking Rodney ain't got no job selling nickel bags of motherfucking weed in 2002 ass? Who you think was fucking that nigga? Some ain't shit ass bitch who stayed in his neighborhood around the corner, who was just as ain't shit as he was. Cause guess what? They always gonna find somebody to fuck. Everybody gonna find somebody to fuck. So stop acting. No, get the fuck out of here.
Hey, listen, and it's fewer. It's fewer. It's not like 1 or 2 guys. It is just fewer. That's all it is. It's just a trend. It's all they're noticing.
Do you watch Kendra? These bitches come up here with 4 different baby daddies and they own Section 8. Who the fuck you think fucking these bitches? Some ain't shit ass niggas.
It be the same baby daddy.
No, it don't. It be 4 out of 5. Who you think fucking her?
Listen, hold up. Listen, the same dude, the same women. They got 5 kids, 5 different baby daddies. He's got 1 kid here, but he's got 1 kid somewhere else because he's got 6 or 8 kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same pool of people. It's the same pool of people. Like, there's a bunch of people locked out of that.
Which means a bunch of people locked out of that. Man, people are putting things in people today. Like, I don't know what the hell. Like,
listen, there is a group of people. Like, there's 100% of the population. The population is 100%.
100% of the past.
Okay. Now, half of that population should be ineligible because they're underage. So let's take half of them off.
Fuck
Half
the
them all.
kids.
Out of that 50% left, only, let me see, what's 2/3 of 50%? I should have did the math.
2/3 of
It's like
50%
30,
is
30. Let's say 35%. Let's say
24.
35%.
20,
It's probably
it's
around
like 12
37.
something. It's like 12.
Nah, two-thirds.
2/3?
Two-thirds.
Oh, so it's like, that's 30 something. Okay.
Yeah, it should be 30 something. So let's say 37% are actually having sex. 37%.
Yeah.
So that leaves like 23% that are not having access to sex. And we're saying because the same people are choosing the same group of people based on either, now we know attraction is a big deal, but also finances is a big deal too. So there's two components. Now she's talking about the financial component. She's talking about the money.
Right.
But we know broke people that have sex too. But there's a whole bunch of broke dudes that we know ain't having sex. And there's also dudes with money that we know are not having sex. So it's a compound problem. She's addressing one issue here. She's only addressing the people who don't have money that are not able to access sex. And there's a group of people, we call them incels. We say this all the time. Incels, it's a popular word. I know you know it because I've heard you say it. Incels is a word. Involuntary celibate. She's talking about those type of dudes. We typically call them dudes potential school shooters. We make fun of those dudes. They're going to blow something up or they're going to shoot somebody. That's the demographic she's talking about.
They typically be good at Yu-Gi-Oh! And shit.
They be good at Yu-Gi-Oh! They don't be good at Her-Gi-Oh! Like they can't find Her-Gi-Oh! You know what I'm saying? Can't find it. Don't know what it look like. We know some of these people in our little Black Manosphere YouTube Red Pill circle.
Man.
There's a couple of them. I mean, I can name like 3 right off top without even thinking too hard. So that's what she's talking about.
Player culture.
Now that was funny. Victim blaming just tripped me out. What is a victim of a player? Like somebody that told you what you wanted to hear, you're a victim now? I mean, because I can say he's the victim for having to lie to you to get what he wants. Like, if he told you the truth, he would. I mean, he's a victim too. He's a victim of circumstances.
And that's the game.
Everybody's a victim.
Everybody plays the game.
Hard to get the attention of a woman anymore.
I mean, because if you make a dude play a game to access, you're victimizing him.
Yeah.
And as a result, women are complaining because, we have a fertility window that men don't have, and women are complaining they can't get a guy to commit on time. And it's like, well, you're spoiling him with free sex. Why should he commit?
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
She just did it last night.
She's guilty. Everyone is a victim until they decide not to be. That's facts. Everybody has an unfavorable position. It was just the framing. The framing of this entire conversation is hilarious. I hate this theory, but YouTube won't load. Let me send
I
you
hate this theory, but YouTube won't load.
I'm assuming it's theory, but I don't know. I don't know. Give me a sec.
What story? Yeah, it's probably a story.
I don't trust
Man,
nothing.
this is got to be.
Wow, I'm signed out of Discord. That's dirty. Hold up. Give me a sec.
Because I be wanting to listen. Like, I be actually sometimes wanting to kind of take in what the lady peoples be thinking. And then, like, this happens. And it's just, it sucks.
Don't be too hard on.
Dude. She said monogamy is the reason why men in the lower class aren't violent.
I mean, there's a correlation there.
Monogamy.
I sent you the link. Greg, check Discord.
I would say this: the only way that would work is that monogamy would have to automatically guarantee you a partner.
And you're right, it doesn't. It doesn't, because you still may be undesirable, even if there's a 1-to-1 ratio of men to women.
Right.
You still may be undesirable, even for the women who might or should be slotted against you.
Right.
She may just not want you, or she may not enjoy your company. So it's
She gonna look at you and be like, ugh.
yeah, yeah.
And that's fine. Everybody ain't me.
Hmm. So I mean, unless they're arranging marriages, in this, it wouldn't. The 1-to-1 ratio would not work in this country where it's permissive and people still have choice.
Yeah.
They're still going to choose the upper percentage of attractiveness, or well, let's say attractiveness across domains. Attractiveness may be physical, it may be financial, it may be any number of things. So they're still going to attract. They're still going to choose off of attractiveness because
You
it's
can
a want
customize.
base.
Yeah, you can customize what's attractive to you now. See, I don't think
Again, like we was talking about a little bit earlier, I don't
no,
think there's a better. I just think there's a different. That's all.
no, no.
I don't. I don't think there's a better. I just think there's a different.
Niggas failing at that too.
Yeah. What I think what has better family outcomes as far as success, but you have to consider success. That's going to mean different things. But like what I see is arranged marriages seem to have better success rates, but they're in cultures that penalize the breakup of the family. So there's typically a lot more domestic violence and other stuff in it. So it depends on what you want. Yeah, you'll get people to stay together longer, but they also get dumped on if they get divorced. So, you know, blood in, blood out. So if they had more than one, they would be better off. Now she's saying no. She's saying if people can have more than one, it's worse off because then dudes at the bottom can't get access. Yeah. So she wants monogamy. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. But even now, where we practice monogamy in the United States, we still don't practice monogamy. People still have rosters. So people are still having rosters and teams. So it's like monogamy's. What does monogamy mean? I could name you at least like off the top of my head, the names that start flooding in my head, like 5 people who were sleeping with somebody that was married. Like we're not really monogamous.
I just, I,
Just a modern society where people
yeah,
are
you know,
making choices and not bound by
Exactly.
any,
And so you have to
societal
understand the
restrictions.
full
There she
playing
go.
board to make.
We're not bound by any societal restrictions. People don't care. Everything's permitted. Everything's permitted. And when everything's permitted, there's going to be consequences. That we talked about the spiral and what the choices, the systems, and the choices that you make. They have repercussions. We're living those out, and people don't seem to like what is done to society. But we don't want to change anything because people don't want to give up. They don't. Nobody wants to give up their choice. Who wants to give up their choice? Spiral. Come on now. Well, we'll wait for the spiral to finish spiraling. Ooh.
And not bound by
Exactly.
any,
And so you have to
societal
understand the
restrictions.
full playing board to make the right choices. 20% of women who want to become mothers are being denied the right because they can't get a guy to commit on time.
so remember,
Don't melt into your chair. Do not melt into your chair. Do not dissociate. No, come back. Come back. Come on. Come on back, man. Nah, do not melt into bro, come back. Come back, man. Women are being denied. Come back, Yella. Come back. Come back, man. Oh shoot. Don't dissociate. Listen. It's our fault that women can't be mothers because listen, it's but this is like earlier. Like we talked about cycles. This is what I'm talking about. The choices people make create these cycles. So women are only pursuing the top end of dudes. The top end of dudes have too many choices. Why would they have it? Why would they start a family with you? Like why would they start it doesn't even make sense. Why would they start a family? Because they've got all these options to toy around with. So then you're denied your right to have a family. You're right. to have a family because the people you want to have a family with don't want to start a family because they don't have to. Instead of you choosing the people who are available and unsexed, unlovable, which you can start a family with right now, they'd be more than happy to just to have some sex. They don't have any sex because you won't touch them. They're icky. They give you the ick, but they're available. So you rather keep waiting on this dude that's already got 5 other women on his roster. But these are the kind of choices. We live like this. We don't like the way it looks, but it's true. So everybody's victimizing everybody else. And only the people at the top really have choice. Everybody else is trying to fight for scraps. And it's not just sexual. It's like the same thing with money. Why you think all the money's housed at the top? It's the same. Everything is running like this. Everything is running like this. But again, we're just talking about the financial domain. Of course, the attractiveness domain is very similar. The most attractive dudes get all the attention. People who are mid, I know Quantum thinks unattractive dudes are hot as fuck, but the rest of the women don't feel like that. Medium ugly is as far as they're willing to go. I'll be hearing that term, medium ugly. Let's see. Yelling undissociated. He lost. We done lost him. He gone. They're denied their right to have kids, Yellow. Don't be hating on this woman. Come on, man. Man, this internet is about to trip me out. We was doing so good today. We were doing so good. 321.
Man, my husband wanted me to table flip with
About 1 in 3 Americans.
with these studies and shit.
Hey, man, you listen. You got to read some of these studies, man.
This bitch said 20% of women.
Denied the right. Their God-given right.
20%.
Yeah,
So
1 out of every 5.
What? So the fuck what?
What you mean so?
So the fuck what? That ain't
What you mean so?
enough to get me out of my chair.
30%. Would that be enough?
No.
40%.
No.
50.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh shoot.
20% of she said. Don't come on here talking about a stat with 20% in it, nigga, trying to make a goddamn point. You come up here talking about a stat that's 20%. That's like me saying. That's like me saying. That's like me saying. Michael Jordan only made. No, I ain't even gonna say that. Lintrell Oswald only made 20% of the shots in his whole NBA career. Like, and
20% is a lot of people. That's a large swath of people. 20% is a lot. That's a lot.
Dude, remember we was talking about the batting average, how batting averages work?
Mm-hmm.
Especially percentages.
Yeah.
It's with the numbers, like with the digit moved or whatever. So like out of every 10 at bats is how many times you hit the ball.
Yeah.
20%, your ass is out of the league. Your ass
but you still in the minors. You still good. You make it in the minors.
Not hitting the 200.
No, if you hit 200 in the majors, you're gonna be hitting better in the minors. So we got to bring the argument down so that 20% is more significant. Yeah, we got to bring it out of the majors because you're majoring right now. So we got to major in the minors.
If you hitting at 200 or under, you don't need to even be around the game, bro. The game ain't never gonna come to you. It's never gonna come to you,
shoot. I can't stand. What's up, Greg? Man, how you feeling, bro?
All right, man. Like, YouTube wouldn't load this for the last hour, so I'm just like, screw it. I'm jumping on here. I hate this series so much. It's so stupid.
Man.
It's so. But wait. Who is Lintrell? Who?
Lintrell Oswald. He was a second round draft pick for Golden State back in like '94. He went to UNLV Nevada, UNLV Reno.
Is that when they were like the big PayPal or payment scam where they were paying all their players?
No. See, he didn't go to UNLV. I ain't talking about with like grandmama and them. I ain't talking about. He went to UNLV Reno.
Oh, which is like not even the real UNLV. Damn.
Yeah. He went to UNLV.
The satellite school.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He was on the auxiliary team. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But he just happened to get drafted.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? So
Hey man,
yeah,
second round too.
yeah, man.
Man,
I mean, that's pretty good.
hey, he shot above his pay grade. Hey,
Way
good for
above
Yeah.
it.
him. So all right, this whole thing is based on. It's so stupid. There's a book called The Fourth Turning that
Mm-hmm.
has this ridiculous theory that time moves in circles, and every
Mm-hmm.
1,000 years society falls. And this is where this lady's kind of like parroting that. There's a alt right YouTuber called What If Alt History who goes big onto this. Their theory is that because no one will screw all these horny dudes, they get all riled up and burn society down. Like, it's so stupid on its face. Like, I'm gonna burn my grandma's house down. I'm gonna burn down like all my friends' house. I'm gonna tear all this crap down because I can't get a woman to have sex with me. Like prostitution hasn't been a thing since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
It's not legal.
But it still
So
happens.
right. So
There's still prostitutes. Obviously, the law's not stopping it. Like,
said that like just because things something ain't legal that
Listen,
niggas ain't gonna do it for coochie. Quit
right.
playing. Come on, man. Quit
We'll
playing.
break a
man.
law, but we're not going to
Hello,
burn
Pete. Hi,
society
Diddy.
down.
You talking
Listen,
about
hey,
you
listen.
talking about
There's
what ain't niggas ain't
some
worried
of
about
us.
breaking the law to get
Listen,
no
there's some
coochie?
things some of us will take illegal, like without regulation. There's some things we'll risk it on, but that should not be one of them. I'm for a lot of us. No.
Nigga, and it just recently got illegal. Nigga, they was running brothels. Nigga, that was like part of the
Yeah.
community income. Like
Hey, well,
that was
listen. It needs to be back.
that shit. I
It needs to be brought
mean,
back.
yeah, but
But
then
there's,
patriarchy and using women's bodies for sex to make money, and God forbid a man run it, and they gonna call him and this and no. So we can't do that now because society didn't made it weird to have brothels and shit.
Oh,
but there's
it's
never
terrible.
been any society that has collapsed because a bunch of young horny dudes weren't getting any. Like, it's never
That's
happened.
not that's not what happens to the Vikings.
No, it's not what happened. The Vikings
Okay.
just became European. They
Okay.
invaded Europe and then became part of society. Rome fell because they moved to the Middle East to be closer to the center of the world because Europe was like a bathwater at that point. Then,
But I mean, but it sounds like you're saying the same thing. See, the Vikings left Norway because there was no vagina, so they
no, no,
went
no. They
and
had
invaded
vagina.
England.
They had vagina. They didn't have food. They didn't have anywhere to grow crops.
Right. You see them big,
Turns out
thick
crops, yeah,
Norwegian bitches?
you can't eat vagina. Well, you can eat vagina, but you can't. It's not very. It's not a lot of calories in it. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
stop playing.
Right. So yeah, they had. I mean, you've seen Scandinavia? There's not exactly a lot of farmland there,
Yeah,
and at
I
the
get you.
time, the Holy Roman Empire was pushing them out, so they had to go somewhere else. They went over to England, started integrating there. They just
Yeah,
became British.
because
That's it.
they found vagina in England. They
You're
wanted
They
some
saying yeah.
found
fish,
vegetables,
Okay.
nigga. They didn't find vagina. They found food.
vegetables that would Kush that wouldn't run.
So okay,
That's
the joke about
no,
England.
no, no,
The joke about
no.
England is that English women and English food made
Okay,
them the best sailors in the world.
all right.
So you're saying they went there to go get English coochie?
They were just looking for it, and it's the same thing with Romans. You said they left because they was bored in Rome. Then they went to the Middle East.
No,
Everybody be looking for.
they
They
moved the
want foreign.
capital to the Middle East because that the
Everybody
main
wants some new
rival to the
cooch.
Sassanids. Like they were trying
Listen,
to be close to the center of the world, which was Iran. And then Portugal found a way to sail around Africa, and Iran
mm-hmm.
became a backwater because no one needed to go through there anymore.
mm.
Like none of these societies ended because a bunch of horny dudes burned it down. It's never happened. It's a
I
complete
just have a hard
nonsense
time
theory.
believing it, man. I have a hard time believing it.
I mean, yeah, I guess you can just make stuff up.
Ancient Egypt.
What ancient Egypt got conquered by Rome? Like, well, they got conquered by Alexander first, and then Rome. Like,
It
there was
sounds like you're making excuses.
yeah, I guess as opposed to making stuff up. But this is so it's so repeated. It's so silly. It's like no, all these societies had reasons for ending. Like
Oh, jeez.
very
Man.
well documented. It's not like we don't know what happened. They wrote it down.
All right. All right. All right.
Like they're like this happened and this happened and this happened.
All right.
No one was like yeah. And then a bunch of horny dudes showed up, started burning everything down.
Why do you
Right.
think they built the Great Wall of China? It was to keep the horny dudes from invading. The other side, where the cooch
Yeah,
was.
but it didn't
You
work.
mean China, like the large, with the highest, one of the highest populations? You think they ain't fucking?
It, now,
Nigga, they been fucking.
now
like,
they are.
like, what are you talking about?
For the last couple
That's
hundred
that's
years,
how
before
they
the
one of
Great
the
Wall,
oldest civilizations.
they put up the Great Wall. They put up the Great Wall to keep people from the cooch.
That's how they're one of the oldest civilizations. Because it's been
Man, stop
ankles in the air. God damn
it. All right.
it.
You guys put up a convincing argument. I guess I'll
Well,
have to leave the doctor. I'll have to
the
concede that she might be
PhD,
wrong.
PhD, she's not a doctor. If
She's
someone's
a
falling out
doctor.
in an airplane and they're
It
like, "Is
said
there a
doctor.
doctor?" She doesn't stand
It
up.
said
She's
doctor.
not a doctor.
It said doctor. I'm go with the doctor because she said doctor, and I respect her pronouns. Okay.
I don't. I disrespect her pronouns. She's a PhD. Look, if someone falls out in an airplane and they're like, "Is there a doctor on board?" If you stand up, you are a doctor.
Okay.
Otherwise, sit your ass down. Your English lit
Okay.
PhD does not make you a doctor. Sorry. It's just this theory annoys me so much and it gets so
Yeah.
repeated. It's like, oh my god, it's not true. It's just not true.
Well,
Like,
if
think
it's
about what that
if
says about men, though. Think about what
oh
that says
yeah,
about you. And
that's like
Yella,
the
like,
bear. That's like the bear. Yeah, I get it. I've
yeah,
been hearing this up my whole life though. That's all I hear is that men are terrible. But there's
but
also evidence that men are terrible. So
yeah, sure, to a level though. Like Yella and I are pretty
yeah,
horny dudes. I mean, self-admitted horny dudes. What do you think we're
yeah.
gonna burn down our own house because we can't get laid? No, we're gonna go figure out a way to pay for it,
I
Ain't
mean,
or
no
some,
way.
maybe,
or scheme it, or some like.
maybe.
There's a lot of steps before we go to burning everything down. Like
I
if I
don't know,
burn my
Greg.
mom's house, like
You showed me a lot of like disaster looking stuff that is at your residence. Like it looked like you might have burned it down at one point.
I'm trying to really hard, but there's no one here but me. I'm not. No one's in the house when I burn it down.
I got you. I'm messing.
You know, it's like
I'm
I'm not
messing.
gonna like you're not gonna tear your own
Yeah.
community down. That's
Yeah.
stupid.
No, no, not over sex. But
Yeah,
but you know, that's the premise. That's the ladies laying out. There's some correlation between, like she said, the study talked about men, unsexed, and violence. There's a correlation, not a causation, just a correlation. Like all
yeah, and
poverty does
then
not make people commit crime, but there's an increase in crime where there's poverty in certain economic disparity zones. Okay, so correlation. It's correlation. That's all she's doing.
well,
The good doctor.
you're trolling so hard right now. God, I hate that.
but
It's so much worse that she
what?
has a PhD because normally it's just an idiot on YouTube talking. But
So I want to get your opinion on my favorite part, where she said player culture is the results of men conforming to what women want, and
Mhm.
that is sounds like victim blaming. What do you think about that?
No, okay. So she's wording it badly, but she's right.
Okay.
Women are the selector sex. Men are gonna try to figure out what to do to get laid.
Mhm.
I mean, this is not shocking. Like, yeah, what do you want?
I'm pretty
I'm trying to
shocked.
get laid here. What do you want? Flowers? You think men are like, I'm gonna write poetry and start planting flowers
Mhm.
for ourselves? Like,
I
you think
mean,
dudes
that's
are
what I
like,
do.
man, some flowers would really be really cool in this room, or
Yeah,
I should
spruces up the
write
space.
poetry talking about my
Yeah, I love it.
feelings. Yeah,
Absolutely.
sure. Men did that for ourselves,
Mhm.
or built air conditioning for ourselves, or like, come on.
I don't like sweating.
Yeah, but you
Ever
don't hate
so.
it enough to build air conditioning. You know
That's
exactly
true.
why we invented air conditioning.
That's true. I would
Because we
be
got
sweating.
sick
You're
of
right.
hearing, I'm hot,
Man,
or I'm
man, yeah,
cold. It's the same
man,
reason we've been chopping wood, planting flowers, doing.
man.
Yes, we will try to figure out what you want to get laid. That part is true. What we won't do is, if we can't get laid, burn down our own communities.
Always true.
We'll see. We still got time.
We
And so
still
you have
The election's coming up.
to
Societal
understand the
restrictions.
full playing board to make the right choices. 20% of women who want to become mothers are being denied the right because they can't get a guy to commit on time.
the
And listen,
right,
yeah, 20% of mothers are denied the right.
the right.
Yeah,
You have a right This is, oh my god,
To have kids on time. You have a right to have kids on time.
bro.
On
She's
time.
stupid in two directions. I can't believe it. She's like, the problem with this theory is you're saying women are obligated to fuck dudes so they don't
Yeah.
burn everything down.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, Rashawn.
no.
Either way
Wait,
she turned.
wait. So she's
Either way
stupid
she
or
turned.
dippets? So she's stupid and dippets?
But now she's
Yeah.
saying men are somehow
From
responsible to commit to women and knock them up. No,
yeah, they
individuals are
have a
able to
right.
make whatever choices they want.
No, they have a right,
You are not obligated to fuck anyone or knock them up and marry them. You can do what
bro.
you want.
She
Jesus
has a
Christ,
right to have a
Lacey.
kid on time.
Which requires another person to do something, so they don't have a right not
Absolutely.
to?
No,
God, this is so stupid.
Greg, you're
My
not listening.
bad.
You're
I
not
need to go
listening.
find some young girl and knock her up. I have
When
to.
she says it's my time,
Mm-hmm.
then that's when you do it. Not when you
Mm-hmm.
want to. When she wants to.
That's how rights work. They obligate other people to do things. Got it. Got it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's kind of how it works.
That's wild to me. Like,
So remember, just remember out there, guys, when you hear player culture, say it was you. It's all your fault, according to Dr. Wendy here.
Right, and then she'll
Yeah, Dr. Wendy. Dr. Wendy said player culture is women's fault. Greg agreed. Look at that. I know Yellow does not like that stupid face he got on right now. I know
Clown
Yellow.
ass
I
look.
know you. I know you was staring at his face
Clown
right there,
ass
wasn't you?
looking nigga.
You was staring at
Clown
his face
ass
when I
looking.
said that, wasn't you?
Blame it on her, fellas.
I can tell, man. That
Clown
goofy
ass.
face was not going to sit well with Yellow. Let's go. Player culture.
she'll say, "Okay, not tonight, buddy."
So, what do women need to know? Women who want to date men, what do they need to know about?
Okay, so first of all, if a woman wants a short-term relationship for fun and sex, she should go for it. There's no moral teaching here. This isn't purity culture, none of that. This is
go.
pure evolutionary science. However, if she wants a man who will be a contributor
And Greg, you respect evolutionary science, right?
no. No. Evo Psych is the dumbest fucking field. It's so stupid. We have lizard brains, and now somehow it's about as valid as the you only use 10% of your brain. Really? What percent of my kidneys do I use? Huh? How about my pancreas? Do I use 14% of my pancreas? It's the dumbest shit. It's so stupid. Sorry, I turned into yellow for a second. That makes me that mad. I'm just like, oh my
I know
god,
you hate it. I know you hate it so
it's
much.
so fucking
Bro,
dumb.
this is making like my sinuses swell. Like that's why I'm having I gotta
Oh
need
shoot!
other pressure because this is
It's that Pluto, man. It ain't her. It's the Pluto.
the Pluto is making me not yeet this fucking computer out. Because that's what the fuck that's what that is. Because
Oh
this
shoot!
fucking shit is crazy.
Listen.
You know what's bad when I'm yelling more than Yella is? Like Yella's past yelling, and I'm
Yeah,
at yelling.
I dissociated when she said.
Man.
I'm slowly coming back. I'm slowly
Yeah,
coming back.
yeah.
When she said, "I can't," I'm glad I don't even remember. That's the body preventing you from remembering that
Yeah,
trauma.
you try to forget the trauma.
It's shut off. It's
Yeah.
already boxed away. It's stored in that little
Oh
dark
god,
place that makes me cry at night, and I'm not going to touch it. No.
man. When you sunk into the chair, I knew. I was like, oh, he dissociated. He's gone.
to the family financially or instrumentally with his help, who will be involved with the children, she needs to open up her search criteria. She needs
That's
to
right.
understand that her idea of a power man might just be a guy who can power a stroller. And she
Which
needs
is awesome.
Right.
Which
she
is
needs a
awesome.
best friend and lover, and stop crowdsourcing onto that one alpha male on the dating apps.
And before we go,
That's right.
what do men need to know about
Listen, ladies, quit crowdsourcing that one man that's got everybody in his inbox on the dating app. Get you a nice guy who doesn't have any money and he's not that attractive, but he's available. He's available to push he'll carry the groceries, he'll push the stroller, he'll do the things that the other guys just don't care about. Open up your criteria. All right? Yes.
No. keep chasing that dude that all the other women is chasing. Let the women who actually just want to, let the women who want to be in monogamous
No,
relationships and have kids when they want to, and when they partner want to, when
no,
they decide to, let them people do that. Cause no, don't tell no bitch this. This one I'm like, don't settle, don't settle. Cause I'll be
settle,
damned if you settle with this dude,
settle.
and then 15 years later, when you turn 40, you spaz the fuck out and want a
Yeah,
divorce
chase
because
joy.
you want to chase joy. That's when he
Yeah,
gonna crash
absolutely.
out on your ass. You want to see, and I hope he crash out on your ass too. I hope you eat it through a wall. Simply because you decided that you couldn't accept your settle.
Settle, settle.
It's not just that. You are obligated to settle, or society falling apart is your fault.
Exactly.
Or you're
You are
right.
burning
Yeah,
society down by not
Right.
fucking a loser.
Right.
yeah.
Find a
You
loser
are.
and fuck them.
It's
Yeah,
your social obligation.
absolutely. And his is to impregnate you one
Yeah,
time because
you're
you
right.
have a right
Yes.
to be
When you
pregnant
bang
all
that
times.
stripper and knock her up,
Right.
you are it is your right obligation to
Hmm.
fulfill her right to have you around.
And that's how you
Absolutely.
make him less violent. You marry him,
Mm-hmm.
divorce him, put him on child
Hmm.
support, and take everything he
Yeah,
got.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now he's just weak and depressed because he can't see the
Well, yeah.
kids. He don't have no money. Yeah, that's how you prevent the violence. You
You got to
basically make him. You basically turn him
make them
into
weak and
nothing.
pathetic.
Make him weak and
Yeah,
pathetic. He'll probably
absolutely.
eat himself. Then when he eat himself,
Exactly.
then you won't even have to worry about whatever violence he was gonna put out on the poor women that he could have affected because
Yeah,
he got to eat it, and then
yeah.
the kids can get his insurance policy for whatever that matters. So then you can melt down the wedding rings and make lockets for them and
Oh,
give them to them for their birthday.
I would break you. Yeah, you gotta break them. Break them in, women. Break them.
I
About
just
finding a partner, in your view?
I think people
Now, go ahead.
no. You can go ahead and let it play.
Nah, go
I
ahead,
I,
get it out.
I don't want to interrupt
Video be
Dr.
here.
Wendy. She's a doctor.
She is Dr. Wendy. Respect her credentials, Greg.
She
You get
went to
up here with
grad school for
all
English
this
lit.
patriarchy. I don't know where you come from in Indiana, but around here, critically drinking, we respect women. And this woman has a doctor in front of her name. You will not keep disrespecting her by calling her a PhD. She's a doctor, and you will address her as such. Quit being sexist. You misogynistic, chauvinistic piece of crap. You
You know
respect
what?
her.
You know what? Here's my theory. All of
Mhm.
society's problems come from the fact that we
Mhm.
taught women to read.
Ooh.
And I can prove historically that all of our problems started around the time we taught women to read. I don't have any actual historical evidence to back this up, but it's a strong correlation
I was trying to keep it
between the
together.
time we taught them to read and when all of our problems started.
Dang,
And
Yo,
that's
I'm gonna
tough.
go get a PhD so I can be Dr. Greg and people will believe this shit.
I mean, you could. I mean, because you
I
started to sound a lot like, was it Pearly giving women the right to vote ruined the society?
now
yeah.
starting to
If they
sound
can't
like Corey
read,
Holcomb.
see, they learn to read, then they
Corey
want to
Holcomb.
vote. Now
What
they
make
want to
What?
her a
drive.
doctor? What make her a doctor?
What make her a doctor? Yeah, yeah, yeah. He does sound like Corey. I didn't think about that. What make her a doctor?
What make her a
Damn.
doctor? What her peers got to say?
People of
Booze.
all genders and all sexual orientations need to understand that in any mating marketplace, there are people looking for short-term relationships and long-term relationships,
Let's go. Yeah.
and they're all mixed in together. The best way to get a short-term relationship, by the way, is to pretend you're looking for a long-term relationship.
That's
So
not good.
figure out who you are.
Well, did she just say that after she said player culture?
Yeah, she did.
Oh
She
my, I
finna
don't even
get
remember that
somebody
part.
yeeted, bro. Like,
With a
get
straight
her out of
face.
Wow.
here,
Hold
bro. Get
on.
her out of here. Get her out of here.
Also, why is she
Okay.
bringing the gays into this? This isn't even their problem.
Wow.
Leave the
Maybe she
gays
was just
alone,
stating
man.
a fact. Maybe she wasn't like giving an opinion. Maybe she was like stating the reality is like player culture. Pretending you won it is the West. Maybe she was doing that.
And long-term relationships, and they're all mixed in together. The best way to get a short-term relationship, by the way, is to pretend you're looking for a long-term relationship.
That's
So
not good.
figure out who you are, what you want, Be totally honest and authentic about it at
Okay.
the beginning. And if you want a commitment and you want
Okay.
monogamy, you say that on the first date.
But that's
Okay, so she was saying what works. What works is to pretend, but the best thing to do is to be honest and authentic. Figure out what you want and state that up front. I respect it. But she said the best way is to pretend, but what works is to pretend.
But isn't
She
that
gonna
player
get
culture?
somebody yeeted, bro. No, that's
Pretending
get
is player
yeeted.
That's the
culture.
whole
Yeah.
thing. Hey, oh yeah, baby girl, I love you.
Oh yeah. I'm looking
No,
for a long
yeah,
term
I'm
relationship.
that
I'm looking for
one.
somebody I can build a life with,
Hold on.
have a
And
family.
then let's be honest with you. Ain't no man
Mhm.
listening to her. She talking to women right now.
Man,
So these are the same people. These are the same men that you was talking about. That if you didn't have intercourse with them, they was gone. Their proclivity to violence is high. So what do you think lying to them and breaking their heart gonna do?
hey,
You the chick that come around and prevent that from happening. He ain't got no access to women, no access to sex, but here you come. And you think fucking with his head like that ain't gonna make him react in a certain way? That's why you end up with a stalker. That's why you end up with motherfucking niggas who be sending you all types of crazy shit at your job that you don't want.
mhm. Man, that's because they
It's not.
crazy and
It's
they're
not player
violent.
culture if women do it.
That's true too.
They're not players. They're just,
Also true.
Come on,
they're just living their
pretend.
truth.
Hey, go ahead, get that girl end up on the 10 o'clock news.
Hmm.
Cause you got lying to some nigga on the dating app.
Hey, catfish.
important that you said
That is an important tip. Like,
Yeah.
know the game you're playing.
Yeah, understand the game board.
Wait a
and
minute. She did not just say know the game you're playing. And she the one that said player culture sound like victim blaming. But she like know the game you're playing. No, you shouldn't be playing a game. Because it's victim man, get off. Her I don't like her in a blue dress. I don't like blue dress. Dr. Wendy she
I mean,
cool.
I'm 3 for 3. I'll eat them all. Eat all 3 of
Yeah.
them.
I can't say it. Yeah, you gonna talk about playing the game if you talking about player culture as a victim blaming.
you can't go, oh, it didn't work out for me. You didn't look at the game board and understand your moves. It's strategy for all genders, all sexual
I think
orientations.
communication is key, and it's important. I think, and not only communication is important, but you attract who you are. So I think if you hold yourself to a certain caliber, you attract a certain caliber person. That's what I think.
And you have
That's what I think. What do you think, Yella?
I think they don't think, and that's the problem.
Dr. Wendy Walsh. Let me see.
Yeah,
Dr.
Google her.
Wendy Walsh.
You're right,
Canadian.
Greg. You're
Oh
right, Greg.
God.
Anybody can be a doctor. Anybody can be a doctor. You're right, Greg.
All we need is another Canadian psychologist running around.
She's a psychology professor.
Yeah, yeah. It's Dr. Peterson in female form from Canada. God damn it.
Oh God!
Come
Shoot.
on.
Oh shoot! That's hilarious. As soon as I saw Canadian, and as soon as I saw psychology, I was like, "Oh my God, Greg is just
It's so stupid. Like, ugh.
yeah."
Couldn't hack the math to be a real doctor. Ended
Oh
up a
God.
psychologist.
She's also a farmer.
Of what?
It doesn't say. Oh God.
Because if you're around
Let me
poor
see.
people, you know that poor people get laid. Even if they're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
getting
yeah.
married, whatever. Like,
Some.
poor people are still having sex.
Yeah, some.
How
There's
many of
always
those
going to be a
girls?
segment of the population that is not getting access.
Yeah, but it's as a professional poor person, it's much smaller than this lady's making it out to be.
All right, so going share this. Boom. Let's go.
No one knows exactly when the first marriage took place. People have been getting married for thousands of years. It's an
Thousands.
ancient institution, but for some people, it's perhaps a bit too ancient.
89% of the world's population now live in countries with falling marriage rates. This is especially pronounced in the richest countries. Among the 38 OECD nations, most recorded between 7 and 10 marriages per
7 to 10 marriage. Let me see. I'm trying to see where the United States is. United Kingdom, United States. That's about the fifth, sixth country. Let me go back just a bit to see what you were saying. I just want to see where we are. Let me see.
38 OECD nations, most recorded between 7 and 10 marriages per 1,000 people in 1970. By 1995, this fell to around 5 to 7 marriages, and it continues to plummet today.
So
Wow.
why
Hold
To
up.
7 marriages, and it continues to plummet today.
I wonder what the final stat was. They had it moving when they stopped it. So 2019, United States. Dang. Okay. But it's not even falling that far. Because these are only in twos. These are increments of two. Hold up. Wait. See. Hold on. So we were at about 10.
This fell to around 5 to 7 marriages, and it continues to plummet today.
It's around
So
6.
why is this happening, and will it spell the end of marriage as we know it?
Eh, we lost 4. We dropped off about 40%. That's.
A stable marriage has often been associated with financial stability. Married households in the US hold significantly higher wealth than cohabiting couples or
Hey.
singles. But despite this, the marriage rate in the US has dropped by nearly 60% since the 1970s.
Since the 1970s, we've fallen off. So none of this bothered you, Greg. You don't think none of this is a problem.
Nope.
Society's not in collapse.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, let me put the following proposition to you, right?
Let's go.
Either we, as a species,
Hmm.
women individually decide they don't want to reproduce. As
Okay.
individuals, they make that choice, using their liberty, which is the
Hmm.
entire point of America, is that people can do what the fuck they want.
Uh-huh.
And so they make that choice and we go extinct. Or we round up these women, put them in camps, and force them to breed, just so we can keep on existing for future people that aren't even born yet can be around to be put in camps and forced to breed. How is that better? How is that the ideal outcome? Why is there some like we have to? Why is there a certain population we have to hit? Other than the best thing I ever heard on my Discord actually was Katie pointed out it's like it's not a birth rate crisis; it's a labor shortage. They
Yeah.
want more workers.
It's
Don't get it twisted.
economics.
That's what this is
We always go
about.
back to economics.
There is no ideal population rate.
Yeah.
If anything, we have too many people. We have 8 billion people on the planet. We have to invent ways to feed them. Like, we have more people than we have food, reasonably.
Hmm.
We're basically making up the gap with science. But there is no
I like
ideal number of people. I would rather have a planet with a billion people where they're all happy and fairly well off than 10 billion and everyone's miserable. I don't understand how that's a
Thanos.
better outcome.
Let's go. No, I'm with you. No, I'm with you. These are just the stats as they are being applied in this conversation. Marriage is falling off. We're not getting the same outcomes that we used to get. Now, we also do have, again, this is correlation, not causation. Our family compositions have changed over
Hmm.
the last 30, let me see, 50 years. Over the last 50 years, 70s to the 2020s, about 50 years. So let's make it 60s. Let's go to 1960. That's when they typically try to start this. Last 60 years, everything's been changing as far as family composition, but we also now are not as satisfied with the lives that we have. So, what would you attribute it to as far as the satisfaction? Satisfaction
Okay.
in this country, what would you attribute it
First world problems. One, that's
to? Okay.
self-reporting, and two, we have way too like all of our major problems have been solved.
Hmm.
Tuberculosis isn't even a thing we think about anymore. In
That's true.
1900, that was like the biggest concern of people was
Let's go.
tuberculosis.
Let's
It's pretty
go.
much gone. Antibiotics have wiped out most of our threats. We have no food shortages, really. I mean, we do have some, but not like on the level that we used to
Yeah,
have.
yeah,
Where
yeah. The shelves
like
are never just empty. It's just stuff we
right, and
don't want.
right. We can go to the store and buy strawberries in January. That's
Yeah,
nuts. Like
yeah,
this is we're living in the most plentiful time in human history.
yeah. I agree with
We have
that.
almost all of our major problems solved. You can get in a car
Yeah.
and drive anywhere you want, even if you're poor. Like it's you have, but humans are not inclined to be happy. We generally like to worry about things. We really don't like to be happy. So it it makes us feel uneasy, like something like the rug's about to be pulled out from under us. But it's also self-reported. Like if you also look at their claim, okay, all this is going to lead to all these violent dudes. Violence is down like
Yeah.
dramatically. Since the 1980s, it's like halved. Violent crime is way down. So dudes are getting laid less, or there's less marriages, or whatever. But violence is also, where's all the violent dudes coming out and just burning shit down?
I mean, because that's true too. Because they also talk about how dudes are soy boys and weaker now, and we're
Right.
less likely to bust a grape. And then we're also like more about. You're right. There's a conflicting, depending on who you're talking to on which topic, we get conflicting narratives. Alonzo Hall in the building. Appreciate you, man. Salute, salute.
Right. And it's interesting that it often depends, like whoever's talking to you, usually the topic magically lines up with whatever their actual interests are,
Yeah,
such as, keeping a lot of poor workers around since their
yeah.
their job is the top of the pecking order, you know.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's press on a little bit more
1970s, and the median
with
age for first-time marriages
Svetlana. Let's continue on with Svetlana.
has increased for both women and men.
For a variety of reasons, I think upper middle class Americans are just much more likely to be kind of intentional about sequencing their lives in terms of education first, work second, marriage third, and the baby carriage after all of that. And so they're just in a much better spot, both financially and relationship wise, when they go ahead and have kids.
The cost of marriage usually starts with a wedding. This is a tiny wedding cake I bought in London for $50, thankfully just within our production budget. But if you wanted the same
Wow.
cake, but big enough to serve 100 people, then you would have to pay at least $250.
That's
Add
it.
in the price of a venue, a tuxedo, a dress, drinks and music, and suddenly you're looking at a very large bill.
Getting married is
Oh, the cake would actually be more expensive than that. Quiet Breeze, all about that lavender marriage. Let's go. Lavender marriage. Can dudes get lavender marriage? Or is that only for women? I
I don't
know
even know
only
what
a
that
woman will come
is.
up with that term.
What is
It's
a lavender marriage?
when you get married to a gay partner. Like they're it's not for sexual satisfaction.
Oh,
It's just
like a beard?
pretty much something like that.
Okay.
But I think it's only for women because only a woman will come up with a term like that. Women come up with terms for everything.
They're always very nice sounding
Weaponized
terms.
incompetence. But you have weaponized incompetence.
Toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity. Oh my god, y'all come up with terms for everything. I'm a stay-at-home mom.
At least did they stop saying in the moment? That was the one that annoyed me the most.
In the
I'm just
moment,
trying to
really?
I'm just trying to be in the moment. Bitch, do you have a time machine? We're all in the moment. You
No,
don't have a
listen,
choice.
no. Everybody's not in the moment, Greg. Everybody's not in the
Yes,
moment.
you
Have
are.
you seen people? No. I'm trying to know their body exists in the moment, but their mind is not present in this moment. Like some people are literally have you if you go to a concert and somebody's there with their phone out, they're not in the moment. They're thinking in the future. I can't wait until I can post this. Like they're future thinking. Like that oh I can't stand when people are not present with you because they're thinking about what this future thing that they can do, or they're thinking about some past thing. People are
So
not
they're
always
not
in the
paying
moment. Like
attention.
yeah, they're
But
not
they're
paying attention
still
because
in the moment. If you shoot them with a gun, the bullet will still hit them because they're still there in the moment.
yeah, you're talking about their body. When people say that, they're talking about their mind.
Fair enough. They should
is
say
just the tip
I'm.
of the iceberg.
So what?
Would they say I'm in the moment?
Yeah,
Yes,
the
you're
eye
always
is
in
their
the
mind.
moment.
Their eye. Their
Oh,
body.
okay.
Yeah, they're the eye, the mind, the eye. It's the mind talking. Dr. Arshan. I'm just saying it's real. I've been, yeah, we've all experienced it when you're with somebody like, where are you? Where did you go just now? They left. They left the present moment. Their mind drifted somewhere. When Yella did the chair thing, he was like,
Yeah.
he wasn't here anymore. Like that, he
But
wasn't present.
okay. So you say he's not paying attention or he's zoned out. Do you need a whole I'm in the moment present thing, universe,
I
Aquarius,
mean,
whatever,
I get it.
the
It's
crystals?
extra. It's extra. but women are extra.
Fair enough. And
Mm.
I'm a man and I'm annoyed by extra.
Man, because them pillows, oh my God. If you have more than 2 to 4 pillows, I swear to God. I
Yeah,
don't know who you are. You don't need to reveal that in the chat. I hate you. If you have more than 4 pillows on your bed, I hate you. If you have to take pillows off your bed to go to bed, I hate you. I'm just saying. Oh my God. Oh, and don't let the couch be so full of pillows that nobody can sit. Anyway, let me play this video.
Starting a family adds all sorts of economic
Come on,
commitments.
Svetlana.
It typically starts with a house, followed by a car, maybe kids, which means more expenses like books, toys, and family
It's
vacations.
expensive.
In a nutshell, you become a fully engaged consumer in the
Let's
economy.
go,
Some
consumerism.
people choose not to go down this road, while others simply can't afford to.
From about 1980 to the present, there's been no greater increase in family instability than there has been among this working class demographic in the US, sort of in basically the second quintile of the family income distribution. I think there are a couple of big factors here in play. So one major factor, of course, is sort of the changing economy and the way in which working class men are less likely to be stably employed.
American adults from high income groups have maintained a stable marriage rate since the 1970s. But
Now I thought this was interesting too, because we talk about relationships failing and families breaking down and marriages, but it's not true for higher income. They've remained relatively flat. So this is the relationship breakdown is largely an economic issue.
hmm that's
Middle income
historically.
and lower income.
Yeah, historically, it's held that financial problems are the biggest reason for relationships to end, like
It's crazy.
marriages. Which I mean makes sense. You can't pay your bills, like things start getting real fast.
I mean that's true too. But even the middle income had a nice dip. Like I would even say that their dip has been parallel with lower income. But it's crazy that the middle income is now again they started high. But I mean if you follow the trend line, like they've trended down just like lower income. So it's sad that we've eroded the middle class so much that they're having similar setbacks. They still are faring better because they have more money, but to suffer the same fate, same decline, that's sad. That's messed up. Even having like even being like comfortable doesn't save you. Yeah, the poors. Yeah, the poors are doing bad. Poors are down bad. We're just
Yeah,
not getting
poors have
married.
always been down bad though.
Yeah, I mean
Poors are
that's
always
where you
taking
get
the
the,
brunt
it's where
of
you
it.
get the down bad term from. From the poors. Down bad.
Man, when
among
you
the
can't
middle
eat,
and especially lower income
Man, yeah. When you can't eat or the kids got to miss a meal because you ain't worked today, man, come on. Yeah, that's all bad. Poor yellow associated. I love it.
groups, marriages declined to 66 and 38% respectively.
There we go. So this is the rates. Middle income 66%, percentage currently married, 38% for the poors.
By 2018. Since the 1970s, there has been a decline in the number of American men without college degrees in the US labor force.
And then here we go. Look at the decline of high school grads and high school. Well, we've lost high school grads and dropouts. Wait a minute. Labor force participation by race by education. So dang, so people men in the labor force are just dropping out altogether because we lost grads and dropouts. We're just dropping out like dang. So it doesn't matter what you did in high school. The labor force has less of us in it. That's crazy. Jesus Christ.
and
Man.
yet we have full unemployment, or full employment most of this period. So who was doing the jobs?
That's a
Just
good
gonna put it
question.
out there. Someone was doing those jobs. Wonder
Somebody's doing
why?
these jobs.
Wonder why the participation rate's going down. It's almost like they're getting undercut by a different group.
Hmm. Are you talking about women or immigrants? Which one do you choose?
In this case, it's immigrants, but
Okay.
there's only 11 million. There's definitely not 40 million of them being shipped in by the business
Womengrants.
owners. Women have
Men
been in
fell
the
off. Yeah, we
workforce
falling
for
off.
a lot
Yeah,
longer,
yeah, yeah. They've
but
been in the yeah. I think the level of participation is as women are less like. Anyway, let's move on.
The last 50 years also saw their earnings stagnate and decrease.
By contrast, we're seeing women having a more secure footing in today's sort of more service post-industrial economy. And so we know that marriage is many things, but it's also in part a financial undertaking. And so when you have men who are losing ground financially in this working class demographic and women who are gaining ground, I think they both kind of see that the guy is less marriageable. And so they're less likely to kind of get married in the first place and more likely to get divorced in the second place.
Dang, so you're less likely to get married, more likely to get divorced because you ain't got no
So
money. Yellow. What?
goddamn stupid. So goddamn stupid. If you got the money, you should still be getting married. So you basically only marrying men for their money. So you don't deserve a husband, you selfish bitch. That's why you're not
Hey,
getting married.
hey.
Because you having the monies don't mean that you can't get married. You can't provide for the family. You the one making all the fucking money. Women are doing so much better in the economy, and it makes the men not marriageable.
Hey,
So it's too much for you to handle that burden, but it's on him to have to come back from whatever type of how long was that deficit drop from 90 something to 30 something of the workforce?
yeah, it
That's
was a big
the
drop.
burden of marriage is on the men to change their financial status to get married. Shut the fuck up.
Oh shoot.
Right, you ain't looking for a husband. You looking for somebody to pay the bills.
Yeah.
You looking for you
That
so no, you don't deserve a husband, bitch. You don't deserve to get married. You know what you deserve to get? The player culture. That shit old girl was talking about. You deserve to get them niggas that's making more money than you, that don't care how much money you making, to go ahead and knock you up, make you
that
one
sound
of
like
their
victim
baby
blaming.
mamas. You gonna fall into the Cam Newton. You gonna fall into the Cam Newton life. You gonna fall into the Cam Newton plan. Go ahead and be one of Cam Newton baby mamas. Choose that shit. I'm telling you.
That sounds like victim blaming, Yellow. You
I
can't allow
am.
that on
I
critical.
am. I
We
am.
don't victim blame on
Absolutely.
critically drinking.
Whatever
No,
it sounds.
listen.
I am.
No, no.
Am.
We do
I'm
not
victim blaming. Yeah.
abide by
I'm victim blaming.
misogynistic.
I'm being misogynistic. I'm dumping a whole heap of patriarchy on this shit. Ain't nobody trying with that goofball talking about, man.
Oh
If you
shoot.
gonna sit there and be like that, nah, ain't nobody on that. Fuck out of here.
Oh shoot. Oh shoot. I'm with you. I'm with you.
In the second place.
Another phenomenon that affects marriage
Only
is
thing I'll
the
say before we go too far, but I feel like we're doing the old thing differently, and I don't know why we're refusing. I what help me, Greg. I know you can help me with this. Like I feel like men providing was the expectation for a really long time,
Hmm.
and when we hear this data, that this is really what they still want. I heard it today. A woman who was like a daggone scientist on John Deloney. She was like her husband had a poor work ethic, but she's got a super advanced degree and a super advanced career. So I know she's making quality money. But when Dr. John was like, again, another psychologist doctor, was like, but I still just want my man that's going to come home and take care of me and provide. She was like, yes, yes. Like, what is the point? Like, I guess it's a two-part question. What is the point? And I know this, I'm asking a man. These women, I know, laugh at me, laugh at my silliness. What is the point of women going to get these advanced degrees and advanced jobs only to still want a man to provide? That's question one. But what is your opinion of like we're not really moving anything. Like we really haven't changed. Like we still want provider men, but the economy is just not allowing for that. It's like, let me hear your
Uh,
thoughts on that.
well, that's the thing though. Like, men are to me, like, the point of marriage traditionally
Mhm.
is for the kids, to create an
Okay.
environment in which you have the best offspring outcome for your
Okay.
offspring, right?
I like that. Yeah.
Which is why, like, other forms of marriage have been tried, other forms of relationships, they didn't really last. Things are the way they are because they worked out better than other
Okay.
ways, right? It generally kind of works that way. Now, it's reasonable for women to expect men to provide for them because they have to get pregnant and they have to give birth. And during that time, that is time that they have to take away from, their jobs, their careers. They're expecting someone to be able to provide for them during that period, which makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. That's a like core human need. Like, If there were no jobs, if we were all just homesteading out here making our own, like you're not going to have your woman out there 8 months pregnant chopping wood, right? The man's going to
Right.
go out, get the
That
wood,
makes
chop it,
sense.
bring it all back, right? You would want that, just like you want a woman who's nurturing. You don't want a woman who's like going to say screw them kids and not feed them, right?
True.
You want a woman who's caring. We're attracted to that. We're like we don't really say it that way, but that's basically what we're after is like someone who's nurturing, who's caring, who's
Yeah.
compassionate. Those are all
Yeah.
attractive qualities in women because that makes a good partner for raising children. Like, so you're dealing with something that's like way older than society, way older than all of this. But because of the way we built society and structured it, what providing is now is going out, getting a job, getting a paycheck.
Hmm.
And like asking people what they want is not a very good metric because people don't know what they want, especially women. Like, you ask a 20-year-old girl, feminism's great. You ask a 35-year-old woman who's single, feminism's the worst, right? Like, it's people aren't very good at thinking of themselves in the future. It's all like
Okay.
immediate needs. So yeah, a 20-year-old girl wants to go out, have her career, be a girl boss, whatever, get that paycheck. You know, as my money, I can do what I want with it. Which is
Right.
silly because women still make 85% of the purchasing decisions even when they're married. They're still the ones spending all the money, no
Hmm.
matter who makes it. But, people don't really know what they want. So we're the big conflict here is that normal people you basically have your white collar, your elite city types, like richer city types, and then your poors.
The
And
pores.
the concept of the poors being able to make a decent living and have a decent life isn't an old one. This is a newly this is something that came around in the 1900s with
Okay.
industrialization. And middle class didn't exist anywhere else until America. Like basically it was the Ford plant, like coming up with factory jobs, like
Yeah.
manufacturing. That's what allowed poor people to make enough money to provide and have like decent lives.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
when that got cut by bringing in as many workers as they could to lower the wages in that group,
Hmm.
like it like devastated that entire group of like because you can't
Yeah.
now live on one income. Like you can't provide for a woman while she's pregnant. She's got to pop that baby out, get back to work. We need to pay the bills.
Man.
Like it's a different situation now, and that's I think what's really causing this conflict is the percentage of money that is going to the top is way higher than it used to be.
Yeah.
There used to
Absolutely.
actually be a middle class in this country, and there isn't anymore. It's just becoming rich and poor. And then you end up with rich and poor results, which is marriage is a rich thing, education is now a rich thing. It's
Right.
not like the poor's just, go along, screw, make more kids, and go to work for like no wages, basically.
Yeah. Just struggling to feed yourself, basically.
Right. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's just I think it's mostly just a result of an economic displacement that's happened over the past
Yeah.
70 years or so, where the middle class has been entirely gutted and normal working class people can't make a living. So,
I can see that. I can see that. Okay. So yellow question. Don't shake your head. No little. I saw that little light shake. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Listen. What do you think? Would you feel comfortable? What? Where would you feel comfortable getting married at? Like, what number would you have to hit? Like, if you said you have somebody that you really cared about, would you? Would any number? Like, because I care about this person, I can get married, or would you have to hit a number? Would you have to have a certain level of economic stability for you to get married?
I don't need a certain level of economic stability
Okay.
because of the main fact that Greg was talking about. I ain't having no more kids. So you'll never have the not be able to go get up off your ass and go do something excuse because we ain't having kids. So
Okay.
no, I'm not. I ain't. Uh, mm, no.
What about you, Greg? What would it take for you to get married? Would you get married at your current level, or would you have to hit a certain economic floor?
oh yeah. But I've been trying to get married. Like my only two life
Let's
goals are to be a
go.
good husband and a good father, and I've failed miserably
Okay.
both so far. And I'm
Wow.
really ringing it. I set the bar low and still missed.
So let me ask y'all both a question. So you said that was a goal of yours. A goal of yours was to be a, and I've heard Yellow say the same thing. You wanted to be a family man too. So both of y'all's one of y'all's greatest desires is both be a family. Would both of y'all want to be married today? If you had your druthers, if you had your choices, would
Absolutely.
both of y'all be married?
Yeah.
That's interesting. All right, that's dope. Kilbro was here again. What's up, man? Appreciate you having coming back. People don't get married anymore because the divorce rate is so high. If you were given the option to skydive and the parachute only had a 40% chance of opening, would you do it? Heck no. You could tell me that there was a 100% chance of it opening. Still not going. But that's parachuting. Same thing with marriage. Still not going. I ain't going. I ain't going.
The rise of secularism in modern societies. Here in the UK, for example, 1 in 3 people say they have no religion, up 25% since 2011. And this is a key reason why marriage is no longer the only basis for family formation.
In 2021, 51% of births in the UK took place outside
Now
of a
this caught me
marriage.
off guard.
42% of children in
The United States does not have the highest birth rate outside of marriage. The UK beating us by like 11%. That actually shocked me. I was surprised.
the
What?
European Union and 40% of
What are you gonna say, Greg?
I'll say we're pretty religious still.
Man, that trips me out. That trips me out. My impression of Europe, of course, being from America, is that they do things in a better order than we do. I know that not to be true, but when you think about certain things, I've been fed so many narratives about the United States and how bad we are in almost everything, that our birth rate outside of marriage being. But I would also imagine that their birth rate outside of marriage has a different connotation to them than it does for us too. We have a lot of
Yeah. Well, the advantage of Americans being ignorant is they can tell us a bunch of lies about us and we'll believe it.
yeah, that's true. I wonder if their birth rate outside of marriage just means they're not married, but they're still cohabitating or co-parenting. I wonder what the difference is between their unmarried and our unmarried. I would like to know that. I don't think they go into it in this video.
children in the US are also born to unmarried parents. For countries where this is acceptable socially, the decline in marriage does not necessarily spell trouble for the country's demographics. But in other parts of the world, most notably in East and South Asia, marriage and birth rates are highly correlated. Only
Let's go.
2.3% of babies are born outside of marriage in Japan, which means if people don't get married,
They don't
they're
have
also
kids.
very unlikely to have children. This is a problem for Japan, the world's third largest economy and home to the world's oldest population.
The fall in birth rate is something that happens in many countries. Governments all over the world are worried because of economic implications.
Economic implications. They go Greg's workforce.
Yeah.
We don't need kids because we want a certain number of families to be sustainable. We want economic sustainability. We want workers. I like it. Somebody acknowledge it, Greg. Somebody said the truth out
No,
loud.
it's the boomers are the worst generation, and they're just going to continue to be bad right to the end.
Dang.
From state-funded matchmaking apps to marriage support concierges, the Japanese government has introduced several incentives to promote marriage. But so far, nothing has worked.
There is this, financial constraint that people feel that they may not be able to support a family and raise children.
A similar problem is troubling authorities in neighboring China, which registered the fewest marriages in 2022 since public records began.
Man, so it's even hitting Japan, it's hitting China. I think I heard it was hitting Italy too. Like there's a lot of countries that are having this marriage and coupling problem. A lot of people just it's too expensive. Too expensive to have a family the way a lot of these these economic systems are collapsing on people. Like I said, gutted the middle class. Need all those workers to make fat ass paying scooters that can make quarter ton. That could take quarter ton to staff all those old folks home. Suck it, Gilroy. Stop it. You're right.
Well, you got to
You're right.
remember too that like young people in general are lower on the economic chain. Like you're starting out in
True.
your job, even if you are
True.
educated or whatever, you're not starting out as a CEO. You're like
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
working your way
yeah.
up the ladder, right? Like they're always
Yeah.
on the lower. So when you take that lower end and just like flood it with workers and depressed wages,
Yeah,
like
that's true.
young people across the board are gonna suffer from that.
Yeah, you're right. That's definitely a thing. and then our nature, we've accepted this, at least in the United States, where when you come in, you get the lowest way for you to
Right.
earn money is to stay at the same job and wait for your yearly incremental raise. That's the slowest rate you'll grow, as opposed to hopping around. So it's just tough. It's hard to just sit. You can't just stick in the company for 30 years and make your
Right.
way. Those days are dead.
And the country also saw its birth rate fall to a record low the same year.
By 2050, China's working population will reduce by 10%, and not enough, babies born to fill that gap. And the, dependent population, those who reach retirement age, will double.
In a sharp reversal from its former one-child policy, the Chinese government encourages marriage and childbirth since 2016. But this time, it's Chinese women who have reservations about married life.
And the women tend to spend significantly much more time than their husband in childcare and other related care. And also the Chinese workplace is not very women-friendly. And why women don't want to get married, why women don't want to have children, is because this society is not women-friendly, the society is not child-friendly.
So what can we do, fellas, to be more woman friendly and child friendly to incentivize them to want to have kids? Because 20% of women in the United States are being denied the right to have kids on time. I'm gonna step
Right.
away for like 2 minutes while y'all deliberate. I'm be able to hear y'all though.
Just blow this motherfucker up.
Yellow's so over it.
I'm so over it, bro. So fucking over.
I think we're also missing, like, they're all missing a major part of this, which is the pill. Like, the pill did not exist until the 70s. Like, it wasn't a choice whether you had kids or not. If a dude had weak pullout game, boom, you got a kid. Now you got a whole nother situation of, like, getting married. So that's, probably a pretty major player in it.
No, it's definitely safe sex has added a different layer to that too. You know what I'm saying? Contraceptives and all that other shit. I don't think it's a bad thing though.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're automatically assuming all these things are bad. And it's like, no, they're just different.
Yeah, I know some
Like,
motherfuckers. I know some motherfuckers think that shit bad, and they're
yeah,
fucking weirdos.
or like we're not having enough kids or we're not getting married. It's like it's automatically bad. And it's only because boomers want someone to pay the retirement. That's what all of this is. They're just whinging about it because they don't have enough young people to pay Social Security. It's like tough. I don't know what you want. Well, I
You
do know
make
what you want.
right. You want people getting married and making workers, making bots,
Yep, paying that Social Security so you can collect that check.
and you want the men to fund the bot factory. You mad at the men because the men ain't making enough to fund the bot factory.
Also, okay, so here's
Sound like
quick
haters.
question for you guys. What do you think the median age like span, like the how long do you think people lived in 1776 when we founded this country?
Oh, 50 maybe?
If that.
Probably around 50. I'll say between 49 and 56.
The
I'll bet.
median, I would probably say like 45. Yeah.
Yellow's right on the money.
45?
45. So people died
Yeah.
at 45 years old when we
Yeah.
founded this country. Now they live to 90.
Yeah.
We have doubled our lifespan.
That's
Just talk about
amazing. That's pretty amazing.
it is amazing. Again, no
Mm-hmm.
tuberculosis, no
Mm-hmm.
bacterial infections. We've cured most disease. We
Mm.
we figured out the COVID situation. We created that vaccine in 3 days. That was a
Yeah.
novel virus, and we came up with a vaccine. Like, regardless of how you feel about it, it's pretty amazing that we invented one in 3 days to a disease we'd never seen before. We've pretty
Yeah.
much conquered disease. You won't die of AIDS anymore if you take your medicine. Like,
Hmm.
we are living a lot longer. And marriage, when it's a 20-year versus when it's an 80-year proposition, like, or a 70-year proposition, that's a different thing. You
Okay.
know, like I'm gonna spend 25 years with you and then we're gonna die. Okay, we better
Huh.
have some kids before we're too old to see them graduate. Versus I'm gonna have some kids with you, and then I'm gonna be with you another 50 years after that.
So let me ask a question. Like, I guess this would be more for Greg, but Yella, of course, you can only jump in on this. Like, you're in a rural area. You live
Hmm.
from a rural area, and rural people don't really need a whole bunch of people to survive. That's the part of being rural. You don't have to have a neighbor right next to you. You don't need to have a lot of city services. You're self sufficient, pretty much self sufficient. In the city, though, we're kind of overcrowded in the city. We definitely don't need as many people as we have in the cities. So I know you said boomers, but what do you think? Cause we don't need people in the cities. The rural people don't need people, and like you said, the old people want people to like worker replacement or the. I don't even think the old people think about it. So who do you think is driving these narratives about needing more people? Is it just like the corporate entity individuals who are driving? Like where's this stemming from? Like what individuals in America are
Okay,
pushing this narrative?
think about this. Who runs the government? Look at every politician and give me an age range of the Senate, of the House, of your state government, of the president right now, or the one
Hmm.
candidate that we have that's going to win more than likely. Like boomers run all the levers of power. They make all the policy. When the last time there was a social security crisis, they needed more money. So they had two
Hmm.
choices. They either raise the rate or lower the payout of social security, or
Hmm.
they raise the interest rate on student loans. What do you think they did?
Man, interest rate on student loans.
Absolutely. Went from 2 to 6%. Young people got screwed hard. That's what I mean by the
Mm.
boomers. Like the
Mm.
people who are in power right now are all boomers.
Got you. Got you.
Like
I'm about to say like all the boomers I know, nobody talks about like we need more people. So I'm like, where's what boomers are we talking about?
right,
But
right.
the ones with the ones on the levers of power. You're right. I'm with you.
Yeah, the people who are making the decisions that actually affect this stuff
Yeah,
are all in the group that their self interest is all for old people.
man.
And that's why they
Boomers.
will they will borrow more money than like clown world money
Yeah,
for
it's
future
crazy.
debt that they're never going to have to pay off
Yeah.
because they don't care. Like, why would they? They're going to be dead.
Yeah.
They don't like their grandkids anyway.
Ooh. Wow.
I mean,
They don't come to
remember the
visit.
reverse mortgage trend where you literally
Hmm.
just sell your house to the bank for a payout and the bank gets the house and you die? Like, if there's anything I've ever seen that's like, screw your grandkids. Like, you're taking the one thing middle class people had in wealth to pass down to a next generation, and they're like, nah, we're gonna spend that money on some cruises and shit. Like, come on.
Man, it's crazy. Dang, we got a whole boomer problem. We gotta go take down the boomers.
We have the worst old people in history. They're
Man,
so bad. Like,
sounds
they're
terrible.
just so bad.
Oh,
They
it's
shut
gonna
down
get
the
worse though.
country over a cold.
It's
I
gonna
feel
get
like
worse because we gonna be the old people, and
man.
some of these ignorant niggas is gonna make
See,
it worse.
I'm kind of hopeful though that like the boomers are so bad that some of us will
Yep.
look at them and be like, all right, I can't be
Nah,
that. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
I
I
hope
nah.
can't
so.
You
be.
wanna know why?
I'm
Nah, you
hoping.
wanna know why? Because that whole idea about the cruises, they doing that now. Because grandma ain't 80 no more.
Mm,
Grandma 45. Grandma
dang,
56.
man.
So she already spazzing out and dissociating.
Why is an 80-year-old going on a cruise anyway? What are you gonna do? You're gonna wake up at 4 in the morning and eat oatmeal. You can do that at home. Like,
Play
damn.
shuffleboard.
You can play shuffleboard at home.
For real.
Like, you ain't gotta milk it for all it's worth, man. Just
That's
try
right.
to leave something behind. Damn.
Nah, take it all. Take it all. All right, we in the last 50, 30 seconds. Let's go.
Men talk about the personal freedom that they get for not getting married, but at the same time, they are really worried that if they were to set up a family, they will not be able to sustain a family with the income.
The Western heart is closing in an important extent to marriage and family life. And that's going to have a huge impact, not just economically, but also obviously socially and emotionally on young adults today.
Man, so we only got 30 seconds. That's dope. Cool, that's done. Okay, let's go. Let me see. Whatever, man. You ain't gotta be trying to be intimidating. Just accept you're a big, soft teddy bear. Quit trying to be gruff. It
I
doesn't work
am.
anymore.
I'm a teddy
Yeah,
bear. A
yeah.
teddy bear will still maul your ass. Don't get it twisted.
I can't stand you. All right, y'all. So listen, what I agree with most of the stuff y'all said. Now, y'all have made some good points on the first video with Dr. Wendy. Dr. Wendy has some controversial points. Yella refuted most of them, but he was coming from a micro level, not Wendy's macro. Doctor Wendy's macro level.
You were
But I
trolling the
still hear you.
show.
It was still cool. It was still cool. And then Greg came in to follow up, and he had more pushback for Doctor Wendy. She's esteemed.
Wendy.
Respect her.
If I could come up with a
Man,
more offensive name than Wendy.
shout out to IG in the building. Yeah, but y'all made some good points though. Honestly, y'all made some good points. Like the financial component. This is a largely economically driven, I would say, gender divide. And I'm not even trying to propose a solution or anything. I don't think this is a macro. This is a system level thing. This isn't something we would talk our way through. This would have to be some policy level stuff that we know is not going to happen. 'Cause like you said, the boomers want what they want. They'll figure out a way to get what they want, which is probably why they let so many people flood over the border. But the need for cheap labor is something that this country has a long troubled history with. So I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. But let's get ready to, man, wrap this up, man. Like, any thoughts that you guys have as far as like the combination of economics, the gender divide, how it's troubling our relationships, like any thoughts you have along those lines, man. Let's get those out and then we can like wrap up. But what where you at? I know Yella's dissociated. I know Dr. Wendy really messed you up. You haven't been the same since. She just took the wind out of your sails. Or was it Pluto? You say it wasn't
Nah,
Pluto, but I don't know.
Pluto, cool. I need the Pluto. I had some other shit wasn't all that hot,
Yeah.
so I needed that trip to Pluto for
Let's
sure,
go.
for sure. But man, fuck her, fuck this shit. Kira said, "But I'm over this shit.
Yeah.
I'm over talking about this shit. I'm over streaming about this shit. They ain't gonna change. Y'all finna get this rant right now on this beautiful, gorgeous Thursday. What's it, Thursday? Thursday evening at 5:07 Central. I'm so
Let's
sick
go.
of this. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm so fucking sick of this shit.
Get a spotlight.
Like, it's wearing down my mental health at this point. To the point where I do just want to kind of just sit in the corner and spiral, like just turn into a cinnamon roll, like Rashawn said. Just curl up and be a cinnamon roll. Y'all can eat me. I don't give a shit. I don't. It's gonna be a weed cinnamon roll, so just be prepared. But I have we not had enough bad takes? Like, we are bad taked out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do we keep coming up with worse takes? Like, in worse opinions. Like, niggas be going hard to come up with just dumb shit. That's why I said she sat up there with so much confidence and gave us a stat that's at 20%. Like, yo. Kira, like, we've been, you know what though? I'm not, because
Oh shit.
my mama ain't raised no motherfucking quitter, but that ain't the issue.
He gonna take it like a man. Take it. Take that. Take that.
Because it's got to be done. Somebody got to do it, right? Somebody got to do it. And I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. So, like I said, we rage watching Tia. And this,
Yeah.
oh my God. Somebody, DCFS, yeah, somebody need to call DCFS on that one.
She need help. Save
Like,
Cairo.
So man, hashtag save Kyra. I can't. We said I've been listening to two videos or reports that's trying to make it seem like the burden of all humanity is men's economic um, fall off.
Yeah.
And I look like, so what? Eat dick, bitch. If we fall apart because y'all too fucking selfish to contribute to goddamn society because you worried about being in your feminine energy and not supporting no man or some stupid shit that you done seen on an AI generated reel on Instagram, then fuck you. I hope this bitch burn to fucking ashes because
See,
your selfish ass didn't want to fucking contribute to society. I hope it starts with you. I hope the fire starts in your bathroom while you're taking one of them self-love baths with a bunch of fucking candles around and playing with your rose. I hope you accidentally kick over one of the candles and set that stupid looking ass fucking rug you got in your goddamn bathroom because you bitches keep the stupid ass looking shit in there with the little fur on it so you know it's fucking flammable. I hope the rug burn over and fucking burn the whole goddamn building down.
see, see, yellow. See, Greg. See,
Oh, dude,
they
dude. Yella and I agree on almost everything. He just says it in like
see,
200, and I love it. I love it. I hope you're
see.
the first one against the wall. Golden.
Okay. Now let me ask you. I mean, because once upon a time, so let me ask you, as men, let me ask you about the men's side of this, because men used to take pride in providing. Men still try to recite that, provide, protect, da da da. We took pride in it because we were able to, but now that most men are not able to, now we're trying to shift it to something else. So, is there a part that we play at this grade? As you get your closing thoughts in, but I wonder, is there a part that we play in this by trying to not like, are we leaning into what we're capable of? Is this, are we supposed to provide? Is this a thing that we should be doing, or is it because it's less economically viable? Now we're trying to shift the focus. Like, you should love me for me. Are we becoming new women? So what do you think?
Um, I don't know. Am I wrong here? But I don't know a single man who wouldn't be ashamed of himself if he couldn't feed his kids. Like, I don't think men have
Fair.
changed. Like, how? If there might be one out there, but I've never met him. As far as that go,
Yeah.
like, man, if you can't feed your kids or feed your, that's like watching some. That's like trying to protect your woman and getting beat up in front of her. Like,
Mm,
there ain't a dude out there who's not gonna feel bad about that. Like, bro, that's rough. So it's not. I don't even think men are really shifting, and men are reasonably saying, "Look, there isn't enough money going to working class dudes for us to
mm,
provide." It's a systemic problem beyond us that we are dealing with,
yeah.
and like I don't really see a lot of men being like, "Oh, what poor men? It's all you just got to come up and help us out." Like, it's more like, no, we're getting screwed over by a
Mm,
system that like everyone is suffering from the results of it, but it's like it's not because men are just like, oh, screw this, I'm lazy, I'm not doing it anymore. I don't
mm,
care. Like, I don't know any men who don't care. It's the fact, like, no, my paycheck sucks and I can't pay for, like, I can't buy diapers or buy food for my kids. Like, that's fucked. Why would you want to put yourself in that situation?
yeah.
Like, that's incredibly emasculating for any dude. Like, so I don't really see men have changed at all. It's just that like the reality of the world right now is, which is changing. It is shifting back, but for a long
Mm,
time, working class dudes did not make enough money to support families, so they weren't starting families. Like look at the poor numbers for marriage. Yeah, of course they're not. Like no dude's
mm,
gonna enter into that, make a vow, which women I know don't take it seriously, but men actually do take vows seriously. If you
hey, let's
say
go.
I am going to provide for someone, and then you can't, you feel like a piece of shit. Like there's not a dude out there who doesn't. I think I lost you. Am I still there?
I see
Oh,
you.
oh, okay, okay. Sorry. But yeah, I think on the whole, like this whole thing is, it bothers me for the following reason. Like when you zoom out and sort of look at things like on a societal level, what is the point of the society we've created in America? It was liberty. So this idea that you are obligated to screw horny dudes or be with knock up women and raise the kids, like, is
Well,
antithetical to individual liberty. Like, no, there is no grand thing you owe to society. You're not obligated to screw horny dudes or knock up women or whatever nonsense they're coming up with as some higher calling. Like, we have liberty for the reason that you are free to choose what you want to do. And I would rather live in a world where we built a world where everyone can do what they want and be free and we all go extinct in a generation than have in perpetuity human society where we're all forced to do things against our will. Like, that is not an ideal goal, and I don't know why that's being held up as some grand achievement that we should do. Like, it's somehow better off if there are future humans that suffer as opposed to there are no future humans. We're going to go out in one way or another anyway, whether it's 4 billion years from now when the sun comes up and eats the earth, or like a space rock takes us out, or prion saturation. We're all going to go extinct. So I would rather us like go out, like, lack of reproduction is pretty much the most humane way for us to go out. I'm okay with it. For the people that live, they gotta live the way they wanted to, have some liberty, have some choice in their destiny, and I'm okay with that. So I don't agree with the whole "this is good, this is bad" angle they're playing on it.
nah, I respect it. Nah, I definitely respect that. So your premise is basically nobody should have a right that some other person is responsible to fulfill against their
Right,
own will.
right,
Yeah, your right can't infringe upon somebody else's right.
right. That's
Right,
not a right. That's an
right.
Yeah,
obligation.
And be shamed
yeah,
because you don't want to do it or simply can't.
yeah.
Regardless of
Okay.
how outrageous this, you can't even be, you wouldn't even be on that person's radar. And
Mm-mm.
Right.
because you don't fall in, and because you can't accomplish their outrageous request, now you failed their right. They got a right to have kids.
hmm
Hey, listen.
And
Then
let's
go,
okay.
then go
Let's
do the fucking then go do the what's the name? Then go do the Ebony K. Williams.
Yeah,
Go get a baby put in you. There's plenty of baby batter sitting at your local buy a baby. What is it
and
called? Sperm bank.
the
sperm bank,
fertility clinic,
Yeah, yeah,
fertility
fertility
clinic.
clinic. Yeah, yeah, at your local buy a baby. Go.
but
Ebony K had problems finding sperm, but
so
you know,
let's take not a real Dr. Wendy's theory on face value, which it isn't her
Not a
theory.
real Dr. Wendy.
It's the
Doctor Wendy.
um it's the four turnings theory. It's a stupid ass book. I don't know. I'll send you a link on it. It's
It's not
retarded.
that.
But
I know about it. It's
okay.
not that bad.
It's a thing. It's a common theme in my Discord that like it's constantly brought up because we
Yeah,
talk
but
about
it's like
a lot
the
of.
for me. I didn't hear the part about the 1,000 years, but they do the whole like good times make weak men make hard times make strong men make good times. Like
Right.
there's like every generation, like there's a cycle of 4 generations straight, like the that creates the kind of conditions, and we're in that fourth turning according to them, the one that's going to make the strong men.
Right, but that also has no historical backing. But anyway, so
They
not a
Right.
real
according to them,
Dr.
it
Wendy.
is. They
Let's
use the history. But go ahead.
Yeah, they don't give any accurate citations. Like, it's so anyone it's they're it's like the 1619 project. None of it's true. Someone made it all up, but they're very dependent on people not being aware of history. So you just take it on faith that this doctor, not a real doctor, said this happened, and so it did.
Okay.
But it didn't.
Doctor, not a
But
real
it
doctor.
never has. Rome did not burn down because a bunch of horny dudes got upset. But you know what? Let's give not a real Dr. Wendy the whole thing. Let's say if women don't fuck these men, they're gonna burn everything down.
Yeah.
Fine. You know whose fault that is? The men who burn the shit down. It's not women's fault because you are not obligated to fuck someone.
I don't like
No.
that answer.
Like,
I don't
oh,
like
I'm
that answer.
sorry, but yeah, that is the crime is the responsibility of the person who commits it. saying men are not able to not burn everything down because they can't get laid is absolutely stupid and condescending. Believe it
But
or
shouldn't
not,
we have puss privilege in the patriarchy? If this is the patriarchy, shouldn't we have puss
if
privilege?
it was a patriarchy, we probably would. But
Mm.
dude, yeah, we have arms that can reach our genitals. We're fine. Like we were physiologically designed to manage. Not the best outcome, but it works. Come on. Like, yeah, you could rub one out and go build a house. No, we are not
Oh shoot!
going we're not monkeys. We're not going to just rip ourselves
Oh
apart over
god!
something so stupid. Like I, I I
Oh
hate the
shoot!
yeah, like yes, men in a way are simple in our
Oh
like
god!
desires or what makes us happy, but that doesn't mean we're simple minded. We're not animals.
Yeah,
We're not like
yeah.
must have sex or
You're right.
burn things.
Yeah, because
Like
you can't argue that and the porn addiction problem. Like you can't. Yeah,
right.
you're right. Yeah,
Right.
you can't argue both. Yeah.
And we can't it's not like we have complex relationships. It's not like we
That's
only like
funny.
beat on our chest and try to fight each other all the time. Men have
That's funny.
friendships. Men have relationships. Men do things to help each other out. Like it's dude, it's such a stupid theory. It's like
Yeah.
men are incapable of having any kind of social dynamic. Okay, sure. The bro code is so men are so much better to each other than women are. I'll stand on it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Women are shit to each other.
Terrible.
I could not
Hey.
see a friend for 20 years. He could call me up and ask me for a favor, and I've got him
Yeah.
because he's my dude. Even if I don't talk to him for 20, like we're on good terms. We're on good terms. Like that's just the dude code. Like you know what I
But
mean?
that's
Like
how but that's how they'll do the ones. Oh my god. Dude, most of the situations I've heard the women I speak to, I ain't got a whole bunch of female friends. They catty, they messy. They
mm-hmm.
this, that, and the other. It's like they that same 20 years, they'll be friends with their friend the whole 20 years. Like you said, dude you hadn't seen in 20 years. They would have seen their female friend every day for 20 years. And then just one situation happened and the whole shit go left.
Yep.
Whole shit go left.
And they'll do like sleep with their man to get at him, like petty, like crazy shit that men
Shit.
would never do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't care how much I hate a dude, I'm not gonna fuck it. Like if we were friends at one point, I'm not gonna fuck his girlfriend. Like that's beyond the pale. Now, if I hated the dude from the start, it's a different thing. But I'm saying like, if we were friends and then we got in a fight, like, no, that's way beyond the line. Women are
Yeah.
like, well,
Correct. That's gay and not just homosexual. Y'all crazy. Y'all funny.
if I was
Nah, but
gay, you would know. I would be the gayest dude. You do that shit to win.
I believe it. I believe it. But my last thoughts, man, I would say, man, I think you guys had not leaned into your sexism quite enough to wrap up this
I
conversation.
said women
Um,
shouldn't read.
eh, but you didn't blame everything on women though. That's the
Oh, my
problem.
fault.
You didn't blame everything on women because see, Yella said we should be done with hot takes, and I want to agree with you, but see, hot takes, Yella, there's hot takes, right? But hot takes are typically mistakes, right? They're never Mister takes. They're mistakes. That's women.
Mmm.
So
Mmm. Podcast. Mmm.
hot takes are women's fault.
Podcast.
Yeah, they're never Mister takes. They're mistakes. They're never Mister takes. So understand that women are the reason for all these hot takes. Yeah, man. It's
Well, they
always
need to
women's fault,
shut the
bro.
fuck up. Then.
And you were only given a vagina to serve men.
Absolutely. Why
You're
else
just
would you
keeping
need
it.
one?
Yeah, you're just keeping it warm for them.
Man,
Yeah.
even at that,
Mhm.
keep your funky ass vagina to yourself. Nobody care about that. You down there 40. Man,
Yellow's done. Yellow's
look,
done.
man, look, niggas down there 40. I'm on
Yeah.
there now.
Yellow went so dark yellow, he's shitting on vaginas. God
Yeah,
damn.
he is
No,
right.
keep
Damn.
your funky ass vagina. That's because there's plenty of them out here. There's plenty of them out here, man. Look, ain't nobody worry about yours. That's where I be coming from. I'm always coming from the mindset of nigga down there 40.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't care. You don't get your
You,
You know what this is? This is like the counter of women shouldn't vote. Like,
Shit, you be mistaken, Kilroy. Don't hey, where the fuck you think this facial hair came from? It's from juices
oh
and
shit.
berries.
Can't stand you, bro. Can't stand. But yeah, man. Listen. I do again from two conversations: the candidate for monogamy and this conversation here. I do feel like we've just the economics of the United States of America have just made, and not just the United States of America, based on that last video. Economics have made family and relationships almost untenable. We have to have an ideology that understands the economic model does not favor what we want. We need to learn to lean on what we need. I think we need to adopt a different mindset. But overall, man, I want to let you guys get your last words, and then we get ready to get out of here, man. Let us know what you're gonna be doing soon, Yellow. Where we can catch you on Twitch or over here. What you got coming up over the weekend, tomorrow, all that good stuff, man.
Um, it's almost Halloween, man. So I think we're gonna
Let's
figure
go.
out some spooky shit to watch over there on Twitch, some spooky shit to do. I think I'll do
Let's
some
go.
Friday the 13th for tomorrow. Um,
Okay.
and maybe we'll watch some spooky shit tonight and play the game. I don't know. I haven't decided. I'm hungry as shit. Speaking of munching,
Let's go.
so
I'm a little hungry myself. I ain't ate today. Okay.
bye.
Cool. All right. Greg, leave us with some final thoughts, man. Some male empowerment. Dr. Wendy approved final thoughts.
all right,
Doctor
well,
Wendy.
I'm working all weekend, but I guess before I go into work, the thing is, like, we're just in a transition period. We're kind of figuring it out.
Yeah.
Working class jobs are improving. Like, they're getting back
Let's
to a better state of where you can pay for it. But I think the idea that women are going to change what they find attractive is a non-starter. It's not going to happen. It's kind of like the fat acceptance movement. It's a cute idea, but you're not going to change what men find attractive. This is what I'm saying. Look, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you think women think they're going to talk men into finding fat women attractive. It's not going to happen. If men think they're going to talk women into finding broke dudes attractive, it's not going to happen. All right? Like, this is not a problem that can be solved by talking to people. This is a bigger problem. And the fact is, whether we like it or not, with women being the selector sex, we are at the mercy of what they find attractive, and we have to
I
go try
wasn't
to be that.
expecting that. I was not expecting that.
I'm just, there's
It's
your
the
hot
truth.
take.
Dude, I
I'm
wasn't
just saying.
expecting.
Look, you can't overcome what people find. People don't even know why they find it attractive. There's dudes out there asking for
Man.
pictures of feet. What the fuck is happening? I don't understand it. Nobody understands it.
Man.
Like, but I know you're not going to change it. All the talking about finding fat chicks attractive did nothing to make fat chicks more attractive. All the talking about finding broke dudes attractive isn't going to make broke dudes more attractive. You need to solve the
Man.
problem where broke dudes can't afford to like provide for a family.
Oh,
You can't talk your way out of it. It's a bigger problem than attitudes or views.
man.
So, I mean, not the real Dr. Wendy is full of nice, colorful, flowery words, but she has no realistic advice because I guarantee you she is not dating or marrying a dude who's broker than her. And you know how I know that? Because she's a
Ooh.
woman, and women are attracted to certain things.
Now I gotta look up because she is married. Now I gotta look up her spouse.
Oh, look, I bet she's married to someone who has a PhD as well.
I bet you married to a woman.
Or a woman.
Nope, it's a dude, Doctor Vert. Not Doctor. I
Oh,
just said it. No,
oh,
no. I
Hey,
said that I was. It was. I spoke too quick.
uh-huh,
It's
uh-huh.
Virgil McDowell. Spouse is Virgil McDowell. I'm looking it up.
Virgil McDowell
Spouses.
definitely do something important. Virgil McDowell, nigga. If he don't do something important, that was a waste of name.
Career. Oh, she had a controversy. Oh, let me see. She claimed that she declined an invitation. Oh, Okay, so in 2013, Wendy Walsh was a guest on The O'Reilly Factor. She claimed that
Of
after she
course.
declined an invitation to his hotel suite, he reportedly turned her down as contributor to his program.
Oh, she's a Me Tooer.
So she's part of the Me Too movement
Ah, boo.
and has been the subject of substantial press coverage. In 2017, she was named as one of the silence breakers for Time's Person of the Year. Hey, let's go.
Boo.
Dang. So his name is
Virgil
Virgil
McDowell.
McDowell.
Virgil McDowell owns like he don't even own nothing. Like he just rich.
He's a trust fund dude.
Yeah, like he just rich.
Yeah, I can't find much on him. Let me see.
But he do something important. Like he sit on a couple board of trustees or something like that.
That name
Virgil,
does sound like.
Virgil McDowell has indeed shook hands with Donald Trump.
And see, it doesn't even matter if the girl's okay with marrying down to a dude who just pushes a stroller. Her friends won't be. And that matters a lot to women.
Right.
I can't find much on him, but they were on TLC's A Baby Story back in 1999. Episode 14. Two men at a gym have been living together for 6 months. Well, can't find much on him, but that's interesting.
Speaking of doctors, they got Dr. Brian on the tonight's conversation cast. I'm done.
Yeah.
Good night.
Okay.
Good night, y'all. I'm done. That's just too much. That's just
Yeah, I want to see that one, but I don't want to pay $12 to get access to their platform again.
man, what's she gonna say?
I mean, they do be having some decent conversations, but they always cut them short. That's the only problem with them. But y'all, listen, we can ready to get out of here. I may see y'all before the weekend is up. I don't know. So depending on what Bree and Yella are doing, because we're trying to get these in just in case. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for watching the replays. Whatever y'all do, man, I'm learning to appreciate whatever your contribution is. Because, you know what I'm saying? When you think it might go away, man, you start to appreciate. When you start to appreciate more, you might have to threaten somebody with your absence to make them learn to appreciate your presence. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm all discussed out for the day.
Are you manipulating us, sir? Are you? I feel like I'm getting gaslit. This is
no. I'm saying me. I'm learning to appreciate things that I didn't appreciate before. That's all.
Yeah. It's a learning process. And if a woman
Absolutely.
under 35 demands you put a baby in her and raise it, you are
You better.
obligated to do so.
It's
You
her
better do it.
right. As long as it's on time. I got to make sure it's on time.
Yeah, that's under
She gotta be able to put
35.
the baby on time.
I would not recommend
But you're obligated. It's her right to have a baby.
It's her right. Facts.
And have you raise it.
It's her right.
Why these lights feel so dark?
It's her right to get left.
You do look rather dark today.
Yeah, but my light.
I was waiting for Yellow to pop in on it.
Say what?
I'm waiting for someone to take that out of context. Yeah, that'll be a good clip. You look really dark today.
Right.
Oh, I'm unlocking my car doors now.
Who did that?
No,
Can you turn it off? I couldn't even get to it. All right, y'all. We can head out, man. Appreciate y'all. I don't know why I had to turn the lights up so bright to be visible, but get ready to head out. I might see y'all over the weekend. Greg, man, appreciate you for coming up. Yella, appreciate you. About to end this broadcast.